1,700-mile trip to Waco, Texas to take on the unbeaten 12th-ranked Baylor Bears, one of just 9 unbeaten teams remaining in college football. And we get a chance to see if Baylor has what it takes to move on to 8-0. And of course, as always at McLean Stadium, the Baylor line sprinting out to set up the tunnel for the Baylor Bears entrance. One of the great traditions in college football. And with that, we welcome you into the broadcast booth. Adam Amin, Matt Hasselbeck, Pat McAfee. Molly McGrath will join us in a moment as well. We are very much in the spirit of the evening. Now, how about this? I don't think a lot of people at this point of the season would have assumed that the Baylor Bears would be the only unbeaten team in the Big 12. But with Oklahoma's loss against Kansas State on Saturday, here's Baylor in the driver's seat with Oklahoma still coming on the schedule here in Waco, Texas. An opportunity to win the Big 12 perhaps and maybe go to the college football playoff. How have they gotten to this point, Matt Hasselbeck? What have you been impressed by?
Well, it's a lot of what the guys in the studio said. You know, Matt Rule came here with a toughness and with a plan. He set a standard, and those guys have lived up to the standard. But they're going to have to do it tonight without the heart and soul of their defense. Middle linebacker Clay Johnston, he's out for the year. He had knee surgery this week. He leads the team in tackles, leads the team in pass breakups. The problem is he's not just not on the field, he's not even here on the sideline.
Right.
And many people we talked to today said, hey, that's going to be a void that we got to fill also. Somebody else has to step up defensively.
On the other side, Neil Brown in his first year as West Virginia head coach. He had some big wins when he was the head man at Troy, looking for his first signature win here.
Yeah, well, we just talked to athletic director Shane Lyons for the West Virginia Mountaineers. He said the first time he talked to Neil Brown, he was nothing but impressed. Me too. I haven't met the guy until today. He is an impressive man. He ventured from Troy up to almost heaven, West Virginia, and he's building something special back in Morgantown. He took the team to connect with the state. I mean, he's got a lot of young players. He's got some injured people. But if the offense, the defense, and the special teams can finally click for him tonight, we might be in for something special here in Waco, the home of Dr. Pepper, Chip and Joanna Gaines, and tonight, hopefully an electric atmosphere on Thursday Night Football on ESPN.
Going to be a good one tonight. West Virginia, by the way, has won 3 straight against the Baylor Bears, but Baylor is unbeaten right now. For more on a deep dive with the Baylor team, here's Molly McGrath.
Well, Adam, it's hard to believe that this Baylor team went 1-11 just 2 years ago, but their quarterback, Charlie Brewer, told me he is not surprised by this turnaround, saying from day one, we believed in Coach Matt Rule. He has been the centerpiece of this turnaround, and he implemented a new brand of football here at Baylor, and that brand is to be the toughest, hardest working, most competitive team in the country. And this is a massive sign that's right outside of their locker room, and this mantra is everywhere. It's on every single wall in their team meetings, on the back of every single t-shirt, and everywhere in their facility, so much so that they truly believe it now. And this team is still holding on to that edge, though. They hear all the doubters talk about their strength of schedule, and they're still holding on to that one-win season as their motivation, Adam.
Great stuff from Molly McGrath. She'll have Matt Rule on the other side. Moments ago, the Baylor line greeted their 7-0 Baylor Bears. Their head coach is Matt Rule, and he is with Molly McGrath.
Coach, you are the last undefeated team in the Big 12. How do you keep your team focused with this much on the line?
Well, it's a chance to play a great college football game. We're so excited. A lot of respect for West Virginia, but we've been 12 days since we had a chance to come out together, and I know our team's ready to go.
West Virginia is getting the ball here. How do you attack them defensively early on?
Well, I think, they've had a bunch of time, so we have to see what they're going to do, but we have to just trust our defensive line and our players just to go play our base early and try to, ride through their script.
Thank you, Coach.
Hey, thank you.
Adam.
Thank you so much, Molly. This has been the Nissan pregame rush. Baylor is the 3rd team since NCAA classification began in 1937 to start 7-0 within 2 seasons of starting 0-7 or worse. Scott Frost did it just 2 years ago with that undefeated UCF team in 2017, and you have to go back a near half-century the first time it happened since classification. This is rarefied air that Matt Rule has the Baylor Bears sitting in right now, but they've got the target on their back as the top team in the Big 12.
It's right where you want to be, Adam.
With a very difficult schedule in TCU, Oklahoma, and Texas in the next 3 weeks.
This place is awesome.
Yeah. Baylor won the toss and deferred, so Noah Rauschenberg kicks away to Kennedy McCoy, who has it from the 8-yard line. And Kennedy McCoy with an excellent return out across the 30. There is a penalty marker thrown at the 17 on the near side of the field. We'll get the call from David Alvarez, our lead official on this Big 12 crew tonight.
Guys, I can't help but notice one of the starting running backs for Baylor in on that tackle on the kickoff team.
During the return, holding, return team, number 86, half the distance to the goal, first down.
Well, we know Austin Kendall. He has started every game this year after he sat for 3 years behind a couple of Heisman Trophy winners in Norman, in Baker Mayfield, and then Kyler Murray. Actually, his first start, lone start at Oklahoma, came against Baylor last year when Kyler Murray didn't set his alarm clock and was late to practice. And of course, Jalen Hurts transfers into Oklahoma. Austin Kendall looking for a spot where he can play. And sure enough, he finds himself in West Virginia as a Mountaineer. Their last game 2 weeks ago after a bye. Good start, rocky second half. That's been a factor for West Virginia all season.
And not great field position to start here. They go with the tunnel screen on the first play. One of their go-to plays. It's a bread and butter play for them, and it's a play that Baylor is sort of worried about stopping tonight.
Ali Jennings is stopped for no gain on the play. They're still without Sean Ryan, who had the upper torso injury against Texas, but he's hoping to be back soon, so a little bit thinner at the wide receiver position. On second down, it's Letty Brown. And Baylor's front in this 3-3-5 defense is there. Jordan Williams, who is a big factor without their leader, Clay Johnston, tonight, is there for the stop with that Baylor front.
Coach Neil Brown said he loved the way Austin Kendall was trending all the way up until that second half of Oklahoma. Big time third down here, backed up early. Going to have to make a play for it.
Just a three-man rush. Kendall incomplete. Is looking for Jennings. And it's a quick 3 and out for the West Virginia offense. So this is something that we've seen a lot from a very improved Baylor defense, forcing a 3 and out.
Yeah, they've forced a punt on the first drive of every single game this season. That's incredibly impressive. You mentioned 7-0. How are they doing it? They've been doing it defensively. The guys up front, Pat, you mentioned the 3-3-5.
Oh, yeah.
That first three, those 3 D linemen, 2 of them are midseason All-Americans.
So Josh Grouden, the Sydney, Australia native, former LSU Tiger, will kick away to R.J. Sneed. Sneed from the 43. Trying to make men miss and running backwards, and he'll get swallowed up.
You're going the wrong way.
40-yard line. Just a -3 on the return. Hey, our buddy Trey Wingo, he knows a couple things. He knows football, and he knows the Baylor Bears. He tells you about Charlie Brewer. I know Trey's sitting on his couch right now watching this one as his alma mater is undefeated. Charlie Brewer under pressure right out of the gate. Got dragged down from behind by Dylan Tonkery, and he was able to get rid of the football, and it's second down.
And that pressure is big because he has Thornton, 81, coming across on a shallow cross. It's been a go-to play for them this season. Thornton's actually got an 80-yard touchdown on a play, similar play like that. Guys are open, but I think that's the difference. If these guys can get home with a pass rush, doesn't matter who's open.
Dylan Tonkery, very important, guys, because they're without 2 key linebackers in Quandarius Qualls and Josh Chandler again. Brewer evading pressure and finally gets sandwiched down to the deck. A great job by Darius Stills, who is a key player up front for West Virginia, getting the tackle for loss.
Yeah, the Stills brothers are going to be a topic of conversation. When you asked Neil Brown what he was worried about, he said the D tackles are very good for West Virginia. I can agree. Great coverage there, too. Made Charlie Brewer do like 3rd, 4th take there. Great pressure here early by the West Virginia Mountaineers. Charlie Brewer is known as a tough quarterback mentally and physically. 3rd and long here. The West Virginia defense has also done very well on first drives throughout this entire season.
There's the 3-man rush on 3rd and long. Brewer grabbed by Tyquan Thornton, but he is going to get knocked down by Tonkery and company in space And 3 and outs forced by both defenses to start the night.
Yeah, and they went back to a similar play, but this time West Virginia dropped out middle linebacker number 10, Tonkery, out as kind of a spy. Spying on Brewer, he likes to run, but also on that shallow cross. Really excellent play call defensively by West Virginia. And something to think about with Brewer, I don't see a lot of throwaways with him. So I see a lot of 3rd and long situations because he trusts his running ability.
Ooh, nice insight there.
Oh, Isaac Powers just got it away. Alex Sinkfield waves it out and might want to grab it before it rolls any further. He snares it right near the 20-yard line. Good defensive stands by both teams to start the night on a beautiful, chilly Halloween night in Waco. You're watching the Big 12 Conference on ESPN in Waco, Texas. Getting cold and dark. It was a little warmer earlier today when we stepped off the Diversity, which I believe is an old wooden ship. Actually, the Waco River Safari with Captain Ryan. Awesome experience to be on the Brazos before we got a chance to come out to McLean Stadium.
It's a good time.
This is a good moment for us. We got a chance to do it today. Beautiful afternoon, not a cloud in the sky, and it's turned into a great night for October football. Austin Kendall goes back to work, and under pressure will toss it away with Jordan Williams chasing. 2nd down for West Virginia.
And that's 2 big plays for Jordan Williams. We mentioned in the open, who's going to step up for middle linebacker number 4, single digit, Clay Johnston, not in the game. Coaches told us that the captain and vocal leader, Jordan Williams, he was one of the guys that needed to step up. So far tonight, he's stepping up.
And for those who don't know, Matt Rule and this coaching staff give out single-digit numbers just as they did at Temple to the 10 toughest players on the field. Johnston, the inside linebacker, one of those players. There goes Kennedy McCoy into space, and he'll set up a much more manageable 3rd down and 3. Trying to find some explosiveness in the running game for this West Virginia offense.
Yeah, Neil Brown said they're going to need it. They're going to need big plays. They're very young, so those big plays got to come in abundance. Kennedy McCoy there with a great run. And makes him have a timeout here with a little tempo. Smart play by Neil Brown.
Baylor has called their first time out of the half.
We'll step aside as well. 3rd and 4 coming.
ESPN Thursday Night College Football is presented by Dave & Buster's. Download the new Dave & Buster's Fun app today. And in part by Coca-Cola. Share a Coke this football season with your friends, family, and fans.
Baylor football began in 1899, and since 1914, the Bear has been the mascot. The Sister Bears, Joy and Lady, called this place home for the last decade and a half.
Sick 'em, they say. Sick 'em Bears, like a dog.
Great crowd here at McLean Stadium. Awesome atmosphere.
Great crowd.
3rd down and 4 coming up, and they'll get loud as West Virginia tries to convert. 92nd in the country on 3rd down conversions this year. It'll be a run for Austin Kendall. He needs the 31-yard line. Extended the ball, but looked to be short. Jordan Williams finished him off, but Henry Black made that contact to force Kendall down.
He gets to the outside. He even hits him with a little stiff arm. I think his right leg just kind of slips out from underneath of him before he can get the full reach. 4th and a half yard here for the West Virginia Mountaineers in the 1st quarter. And Neil Brown says it's Thursday Night Football on ESPN. So what, now what?
Wow.
Let's go get it so the people on High Street can lose their minds back in Morgantown, West Virginia.
And see if they go hard count or if they're going for it. They're 5 of 8 this year.
It's hard to use the hard count when the crowd's loud. Probably a quarterback sneak.
Let's go.
Indeed. Looks like he has enough. Surging to the 31-yard line.
Hey, that's a statement call there by Neil Brown. Listen, we are going to empty the bullets in the gun. What are we coming into an undefeated house for if we're not going to go for it on 4th and a half yard? We can either get it or we can't. Big-time call by Neil Brown. Big-time quarterback sneak. And those aren't just gimmies, Matt.
No.
A fresh set of downs and a handoff to McCoy. Nothing there. This will go for a loss back to the 30. Henry Black and Bravion Roy leading the charge.
And I think what's so impressive about going for it is the strength of this defense, probably that front three in that D-line. And you mentioned Bravion Roy, 333 pounds and the strongest guy in the team. I mean, he is an immovable object in that middle there, and they go quarterback sneak right at him.
Strength coach told me before the game, he benches 405 8 times. What a joke. Incredibly strong individual.
On 2nd and long, boy, a comeback route from T.J. Simmons, a little bit wayward, and guess who is in the backfield again? It's Bravion Roy.
In a 3-3-5, your nose tackle has to be able to handle numerous other grown men. That's just what the nose tackle has to do. He's a leader, not only physically, but also for this defense. He's been making a statement here early.
And it's not just him, Pat, on the edge. They've got edge pass rushers on the outside. Number 93, James Lynch. He's their sack master, and on 3rd and long, he loves it.
Lynch leads the Big 12 with 8.5 this year. All three are coming. Kendall to the sideline, and it's through the hands of Sam James, the freshman. This has been a problem for West Virginia receivers. They're incredibly athletic. They make ridiculous catches, but too many drops.
Well, you said it. They said we need a little bit more consistency, and specifically out of guys like Sam James. Tons of ability. He's a go-to guy. He's one of the fastest guys. We just got to get it in his hands. But consistency is what they're preaching right now, and that would have been huge for West Virginia.
Redshirt freshman, very young. Things like this are going to happen. How will you respond?
Neil Brown said it's a shame that we have to put him in a position to be the go-to guy as a freshman, but here we are. The Australian boots it out of bounds inside the 30-yard line, and the Baylor offense goes back to work. And this is exciting, man. We've seen both SMU and Memphis this year. We were impressed by Kenneth Gainwell, one of the best running backs as a freshman in the country. Shane Buechele has SMU unbeaten. Saturday night football on ABC. Awesome to see SMU and Memphis get the showcase.
I agree. Down there in Memphis, walking on Beale Street.
I think College Game Day is in Memphis, Pat. A rumor has it you might be there, too.
That's what the rumor is.
Repeat performance after your performance this past week?
We can break some news. I am not the celebrity guest picker, but I will be there. I am going to be a part of the show, which is absolutely incredible.
Awesome,
it's an
man.
honor.
Awesome.
I can't wait to get back down to Memphis and experience that beautiful city with hopefully a bunch of rowdy Memphis Tigers fans.
Are we wearing sleeves this week?
You know, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. I'm in a very interesting situation. I'm dressed up like Champ Connery now, sleeveless last week, and I'm not the guest picker, so it's not about me, you know? So I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe wear a long-sleeve shirt this time.
I actually think the crazy strength coaches should try to dress Pat McAfee on Saturday. We'll see what happens. Little pitch to JaMychal Hasty with back-to-back carries. It's going to be 3rd down coming up for Baylor. Hasty coming off a career-high 146 yards 12 days ago against Oklahoma State.
Yeah, and he really is versatile. I mean, he's kind of an all-purpose guy. He's a good runner, good receiver. He's a 2-time single-digit guy. I really like this guy. Everything that I read about him, everybody that we talked to, he's one of my favorite players on this team, and I haven't even met him.
And he plays special teams as well. I mean, that's the type of guy you want when you're building a program like Matt Rule has with Baylor.
Pressure on Brewer again, and it gets to him. Dylan Tonkery, who has been moved around with the injuries to Qualls and Chandler, has been impactful early.
And you mentioned these middle linebackers. If they're going to come, you got to see it as the last line of defense. The last line of defense is the guy that we were just praising, JaMychal Hasty. Typically, those running backs, they kind of have their head on a swivel. They're scanning for the loose guy. Tonkery came around right up the middle for the sack.
Isaac Power under pressure once again. Hits the deck this time. I don't see a flag. And Alex Sinkfield with a fair catch. Power is slow to get up after that play, and no penalty markers are thrown.
I mean, I don't know what's going on here. He looks like he's very injured, but what a bomb. West Virginia gets the ball on the other side.
All right, guys, listen up. Punters are people, too. Everything's good for the brand. We're always hashtagging. But come on, the flopping, we don't want flopping in football. You can have flopping in some other sports. We don't need that, Pat.
That's
Talk
tough
to
to
your
watch.
guys.
I'll tell you what, the offense hasn't been able to move. Isaac Power says, listen, I'm going to hit a bomb, and then I'll try to get a first down here with a little floppy flop. That's very tough to watch for the brand, but you got to respect the move, trying to help out his quarterback and his team that is currently struggling on the offensive side of the ball.
Redshirt freshman out of Castle Rock, forgot Colorado had to replace a veteran in Drew Galitz.
Look at everybody, though, talking to him right now. That's going to be tough to watch on film, bud.
And a penalty marker thrown for some movement, I believe, up front. Like maybe the running back coach is in a wildcat.
Offense, number 72, 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Kelby Wickline, the right tackle, got called for the movement. They had Kennedy McCoy in as the Wildcat QB that time.
And we talked about all these freshmen for West Virginia. It's not only the size and development. They're on the road against an undefeated team, Thursday night football, pre-snap penalties, that kind of stuff. That's where your youth and inexperience shows up.
So there's the Wildcat again. Kendall motioned out. Snap to McCoy, and he'll keep it and find a hole. Good run on first down and long to get a lot of that yardage back and set up second and medium.
That's 2 big-time pops for Kenneth McCoy out of the backfield. Got to give credit to this offensive line, making bodies move, and Kenneth McCoy making a big play for a second and very manageable here.
And Matt Rule said, hey,
here we go.
West Virginia had extra days to prepare. We don't know what they're going to come out with till the game starts. We'll have to figure it out on the fly tonight.
Kennedy McCoy again. This time he gets stuck by Blake Lynch, a single-digit player playing in his 44th career game. No gain on the play.
Yeah, it's his 44th career game, Adam. He's got 25 starts at 5 different positions. Talk about a multi-talented guy. Recognizing they go back to the well with the same play. He recognizes it the second time, makes the stick. 3rd down, West Virginia.
He was a linebacker and a safety last year after he was a cornerback and a wide receiver in 2017. Made 50 grabs over a couple of seasons. One of the top athletes in the country. 3rd down and 3. Quick fake, quick throw, incomplete. They were looking for Sam James and Jamison Houston, Pat, like you were talking about with the coverage.
Yeah, he ride a little play action there, try to hit him on a slant, and that was just incredible coverage. On top of him, draped on him. But that was a good ball by Austin Kendall, which is good going into the next drive, but now you got to give the ball back to the Baylor Bears.
And you mentioned good coverage. Number 11, Houston. I think he's really, really good in bump and run. He's not probably as strong with off coverage, but it looks like he's been playing more bump and run lately.
Tough start for Austin Kendall, just 1 of 6. An early 3rd punt for Groudon. Fair catch signaled at the 23-yard line by R.J. Snead. 41-yard punt. Look at tonight's PlayStation Player Impact Rating on a scale of 0 to 100. How a player impacts a game. Denzel Mims, the receivers for Baylor, speed on speed, and he leads them in receptions this year.
Yeah, they rotate through wide receivers, but Mims is the main target. He's one of the best receivers in the Big 12. And he's an unselfish guy, too. Coverage has been rolled to him some. Other guys have been getting more targets. Totally fine with it.
A lot of double moves for Denzel Mims. As a heck of a player. Also selfless because of the double coverage, letting it open up for other players on his team.
In the 24, this drive starts with a John Lovett run. He's got a good block out in front, and he'll run it well on first down as we check in with Molly.
Well, Baylor's offensive line coach Sean Bell was talking very closely with Khalil Keith, who's making his first career start tonight, and he was saying, take a deep breath and relax. All of you have been uptight from the first series. They're giving us different looks we haven't seen yet, but that's okay. We just need to relax and adjust, and he was spending a lot of time with Keith.
They moved Sam Tecklenburg, their leader, up front over to right guard tonight. Nothing there on the ground. Excellent penetration up front by this West Virginia defense. Reese Donahue led the way.
And right on cue for Molly's report, Keith has a great block right out the gate. So whatever his coach said to him on the sideline, I believe Keith is the left guard, so it would be the other guy. You see him pulling there. He's got a block on number 8 there. Just drives him right down the field. So the drive hasn't been that successful, but it hasn't been because of Keith. He's off to a good start on this drive.
And the guy you saw circled, that's Tecklenburg, who made the move tonight. That's their leader, who's played multiple positions. West Virginia blitzes, good protection, low throw for Thornton, but it's going to be ruled incomplete.
Low and late. Just simply a curl route. And Brewer works through his progression, gets over to the left just a little too late. Wide receiver was open. Ball just wasn't on time because the quarterback had started to the right and then came back to the left. Another punt for Baylor.
A slow start for both offenses, but 3 and outs for the Bears. 6 combined drives, 6 punts. I know Pat likes that.
Yeah, punting is winning. Obviously, flopping is not. We'll see if Isaac Power can stay on his feet this time. Hit a big ball the last time. This kid's got a very strong leg. If he can find some consistency, he can be a real weapon.
Fair catch running up near the 37 by Alex Sinkfield. Just a 31-yard kick that time. Saturday night, UFC 244 at Madison Square Garden. The main card of the year, the main event on pay-per-view, as Jorge Masvidal taking on Nate Diaz in a battle of welterweights starting at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific. Main card in English and Spanish. You can go to espnplus.com/PPV. Download the ESPN app as well. ESPN2 and ESPN Deportes are the prelims. And then top-ranked boxing main event Saturday for the WBC junior lightweight title. The champ, Miguel Berchelt, defends his belt for the 6th time against former WBA super featherweight champ Jason Sosa. 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific. From California this weekend.
That Masvidal-Diaz fight is going to be awesome. Absolutely awesome. The Diaz brothers, some of the toughest humans ever exist. And Masvidal need a guy to face in 4 seconds and knock him into next week.
And that was Ben Askren, former Mizzou Tiger wrestler. 3-yard run for Letty Brown sets up 2nd down and 7 for West Virginia. 10 minutes into this Halloween night game with one of 9 unbeaten teams in the country remaining. Baylor with a late substitution, bringing on James Lockhart.
And it's a late substitution because West Virginia had a late, and now the umpire is holding the snap, but they're going to give delay a game.
The play clock is winding down. They just got the snap off, and Kendall's going to launch down the sideline. Incomplete. He's trying to find George Campbell, the former Florida State Seminole. Henry Black was in coverage.
There's so much to talk about. First, the substitution. As a quarterback, when that play clock's down at 1-0, it's hard to have composure. And I think Kendall lost his composure there just a little bit and threw the ball out of bounds, untouchable. Neil Brown said, listen, if I throw a deep ball, if I call a go route, you got to give the guy a chance. That was his main coaching point on the deep ball. Just give him a chance. It's 100% that it's an incompletion if he can't even touch the ball.
Rough start for both quarterbacks here tonight.
Yep. Blitz from the Baylor Bears. Kendall gets rid of it, but out of the reach of Simmons. A 1-for-8 start.
Just kind of came out a little bit ugly there, almost like it slipped out. A little quack, quack, quack coming through him. Missed him just by a little bit. Field position is going to be key here. Not a lot of movement on the offense. See if Grouden can pin him a little bit.
And we mentioned early, Matt Rule actually mentioned it first. He said we have to survive the script. We know West Virginia is going to throw a lot of different things at us. We just have to survive the script. I mean, their first plays, their first 10 to 15 plays that they script out the night before, figure out what the game plan is going to be, and then we attack.
Another punt for Josh Grouden. Good boot. Fair catch signal by Snead inside the 15-yard line. Well, was that player blocked into that ball, which would negate the illegal touching? That was a conversation piece over the course of the weekend, but after all of the parsing of it, here's what the standings look like. And don't forget, Baylor's got TCU on the road next week, Oklahoma, and then Texas coming to Waco before they go up on the road against a Kansas team that's played much tougher than people may have initially thought.
And that's why you see 1-0 signs all around the Baylor building. Focus on this game. Our goal is to go 1-0. Don't look ahead to that rivalry game at TCU.
Denzel Mims for 9 yards on first down, guys.
There's Denzel Mims, explosive wide receiver coming across the middle. Matt Rule had nothing but positive things to say about Mims yesterday, and for good reason. Works hard, smart player, and he's tough. Usually those guys that are explosive kind of scared to go across the middle. No problem there for Mims.
Yeah, and you got to love his size, 6'3", 215. He's got the size, got the speed.
Good hole for Jermichael Hasty. Molly, he's got a first down to the 29.
Well, Adam, West Virginia's defense is fired up and feeling confident, especially when they're on the sidelines. Darius Stills just walked right up to me and said, make sure you report that Baylor is soft up front. He then repeated that to his defensive line. So they know that they're getting the best of the Bears O-line early on, Adam.
You want to talk about confidence from Darius Stills. He and his brother Dante are a very impressive duo up front.
That might be the best sideline report in the history of sideline reports.
Oh, under pressure, and there's the front once again. This time, Dante Stills. He and Darius came in, tied for the team lead with 4 sacks apiece. There's number 5 for the younger brother.
Well, these guys are rotating constantly you know, they play a bunch of D linemen. They've got a saying the brothers do, meet me there or beat me there. Reminds me of their father who played at West Virginia. And he had a few hits on me like that. I had a little flashback there, but number 56, Darius Stills, one of the leaders on this this West Virginia team. He's a beast up front.
Have a little respect for the state, will you please?
I got hit so hard I forgot.
RJC.
The flashbacks, guys.
You were trembling a little bit just then, Hasselbeck. Stills was a third-round pick of the Kansas City Chiefs, played 10 years in the NFL, and both Darius and Dante said, we watch film on our dad because he was at that level. Once you're at this level, we want to know how to take the next step. They still scout their father's tape. Dante was trying to get a head start that time and entered the neutral zone. We'll see if he was drawn offside or not.
Third and 1, they knew it was going to be big boy football there, too. Got a little antsy off the ball there.
Well, we were double teaming their dad. I just should have used a hard count. I didn't know. I just didn't have the scouting report.
Offside. Defense, number 55, enter the neutral zone, causing the reaction from the offense. First down.
So it is a fresh set of downs for Baylor. You said it, Matt. Meet me there or beat me there. That is the mantra for Darius and Dante. They have been more than impressive this season. 10 combined sacks.
They're from Fairmont, too. They're right down the road from Morgantown. Got a lot of pride in this West Virginia team. To say the offense is soft is a big-time statement. They're going to have to back it up.
Over the middle and incomplete for Mims. The penalty marker comes in late. He had Sean Mahone coming in from the safety position. Mims is slow to get up after that play.
We just talked about it. Mims not scared to go across the center. Takes a big-time shot.
Boy, Mahone and Josh Norwood, the two safeties.
And the fans just saw the replay and saw Mims take a hit to the head. They don't like it.
Coach Rule in there talking to Mims saying, hey, gonna have to get you to the sideline here.
Yeah.
Ultimate competitor. I mean, that's what they have on this team. The toughest, hardest working, and most competitive team.
Personal foul, targeting, defense, number 4. The previous play is under further review.
So they have tagged Josh Norwood with targeting. Or a defenseless player, that is a receiver, and that looks like it's probably going to be a clear-cut targeting, a hit with the crown of the helmet, and it happened to be above the shoulder pads as well. It kind of fills out both axioms of targeting. And of course, he was a defenseless player as well. If the only other thing that would prevent it from being targeting would be if there is no indication of a launch or a thrust. We'll have the call on the other side, a key one coming.
After further review, the targeting was confirmed. Number 4 is disqualified from the game. 15-yard penalty and automatic first down.
Josh Norwood, the redshirt senior who has played multiple positions this year with some other targeting issues on the back end. Akeem Bailey had a targeting call against Iowa State, so he had to move positions. This looked to be pretty clear-cut. Contact above the shoulder pads. It was a lead with the crown of the helmet. Referees felt, or replay officials felt, that there was a thrust on a dangerous play like that. And Josh Norwood, a key veteran in a very young defense, is out. And they got to turn to a true freshman in KJ Martin out of Charleston, West Virginia.
Well, you said it all, Adam. I mean, that is a huge loss to a team that's so young in the secondary. To lose a fifth-year senior, a guy that plays safety and corner.
JaMychal Hasty in it, Wildcat, handing it off. I beg your pardon, Gary Bohannon, backup quarterback, was in. Number 11 that time, and he handed it off to Josh Fleeks. So Bohannon comes in for that one play. Redshirt freshman making his 6th appearance, and now Charlie Brewer's back into the game for Baylor.
Yeah, and he's athletic. He's a big physical guy. You know, both these quarterbacks are pretty good runners. And I would say Baylor, before I got here, you know, before studying the tape, I really didn't know what a great running team that Baylor was. They've got a creative run game, and their quarterbacks are a part of it.
Brewer rifles to an open man, and he connects with Tyquan Thornton down inside the 15-yard line for Baylor.
When you lose Norwood in the back end, there can be some miscommunication. He was wide open right there, and Charlie Brewer delivered an absolute dime to him. pick up big-time yardage there. Now first down on the 13-yard line for the Baylor Bears.
26-yard gain, Pat. And I think what happens is when you put young guys in the secondary, you get vanilla, you get basic. And so now as a play caller, you kind of know, hey, they're probably going to be in quarters coverage. They're going to be in a safe kind of day one install coverage, and that's what happened on this drive.
Here goes John Lovett out on the perimeter, and a second effort by Dante Bonamico is enough to get him down after a short gain. Could be the final play of the quarter for Baylor. Red zone numbers have not been great in Big 12 play for the Baylor Bears this year. Overall, not bad, but during Big 12 play, just 9 touchdowns on 17 possessions. Something Matt Rule really focused on during the bye week. Eighth play of the Baylor drive. Brewer has Snead, and he is out of bounds.
He doesn't know it, though.
He was celebrating right away, but the head linesman, Andy Warner, came up and ruled it out of bounds.
I think they're going to have to take another look at that. But with the secondary, with Norwood being hurt, they're taking advantage of it. They're going to take another look.
Well, they're going to take another look at it, but with a better throw, they would never need to. There's so much real estate there for the inside fade, a fade from the slot position.
I think before that, his left foot might have got in as soon as he caught the ball.
I think you're right, Pat.
And they may just have played it as if he did not establish possession when that left foot was in bounds right there. But that's going to be the question. If he established possession there, according to the replay officials, that foot is clearly in bounds. So that's going to be what the officials are looking at right now.
The DB's coach for West Virginia, Jamal Adai, is going to have to make some adjustments here without the fifth-year senior Norwood out there. That was just a wide-open guy who seemed to get his first foot down for sure from a ball from Charlie Brewer.
Yeah, the left foot is clearly down, but did he have possession or not? The right foot was clearly out of bounds. So if they rule that possession wasn't established until that right foot came down, then it's going to be incomplete and the call will stand.
And there's really no reason to throw a back shoulder throw here. So, but sometimes I can attest to it as a quarterback, when the guy is wide open, it's almost harder to make an accurate throw. You're almost surprised by how open he is. And on that play, you know, Snead was they just dropped him.
Every completion I've had has been with triple coverage.
After further review, the receiver had his left foot down inbounds with possession of the ball. Touchdown.
Third career touchdown reception for R.J. Snead. Exactly what we thought. They felt that possession had been established when that left foot was down. So R.J. Snead comes away with the opening touchdown of this contest.
Nice drive there for the Baylor Bears. Couple big balls, pass, and now you're off and running. 8 plays, 86 yards. Now the Baylor Bears get on the board first. 7-0 here in beautiful Waco, Texas.
Back at 30. R.J. Snead gets Baylor on the board first late in the opening quarter. Marcus Jones is out, one of the receivers in a deep core for Baylor. He's had surgery this week. Hope to have him back in a few weeks, said Matt Rule. So R.J. Snead, who hadn't had a touchdown since the opening game of the season, comes up with one. Baylor is on top. Here comes McCoy. Ooh, big hit in coverage. JaMycal Hasty, that running back who plays in special teams, was in on it. You guys talked about how impressed you were that the running backs for Baylor play in special teams.
Yeah, it's like a badge of honor for this Baylor team to play on special teams. Starting running backs playing, and bang! Little double shot there for McCoy, who's been a spurt of life here for the West Virginia Mountaineers with a good return. That was a big-time hit there.
Wow. I mean, it's one thing to play special teams, but to play it like that is impressive.
McCoy a little bit worse for the wear after all that. We're through one in Waco, Texas. West Virginia starts this drive from its own 23-yard line, and Lenny Brown will work his way for a couple. West Virginia just 25 total yards of offense in the opening quarter of play.
Phil Snow, Baylor defense, got to feel damn good about the way they're playing. Has another tackle for loss right there.
Jordan Williams, he's been impactful early.
On that kickoff, we were wondering during the break what happened. I mean, that was a big-time shot.
Yeah, you could hear that hit from all the way up here. I mean, pow, pow.
That sets the tone for your whole team. Special teams can set the entire tone of a drive, of a team, of everything like that. Don't know where he hit him. Would have liked to see the replay, couldn't get to it. Third and long here for West Virginia seems to be a pretty familiar territory this evening for them.
Haven't been able to convert on 5 tries yet. Just a 3-man Baylor rush. Austin Kendall looking, throwing underneath, and still too much room to cover. Unable to really move too much was Winston Wright, another young player, true freshman.
Was there 45 Baylor Bears in on that tackle, Hasselbeck? They are flying around tonight here early.
They're flying around, they're swarming, they're keeping it in front of them. They're well aware of the down and distance, and they're willing to give you that 5-yard completion and rally for the tackle. Neil Brown said, hey, I got a few goals tonight. My first goal is no turnovers, okay? That's great. We've done that, but we're going to need some offense out of this West Virginia team if they're going to get, kind of just even get going. They haven't got going offensively tonight.
Another punt for Josh Groudon. R.J. Sneed on return duties with Graylin Arnold unable to go in return game. A penalty marker thrown on that kick. We'll have to check that marker as Groudon, the 6'2" grad transfer, was delivering.
Run of the kicker, defense, 5-yard penalty. The yardage results in a first down.
So it's a fresh set of downs for Baylor on that penalty as we check in with Matt Berry in the studio. And they haven't trailed by 10 since last season. It's been almost a calendar year since App State had trailed by this many points. So we got an unbeaten there and an unbeaten here in Baylor. The penalty on Christian Morgan, the first of the game against Baylor, cost them the ball back. Running into is enough yardage for a first down for Kendall.
This Baylor Bears team prides themselves on blocking kicks. A lot of block kicks. They brought the house there. Just so happened to run into punter. Can't do that. No flop for Groudon. First down for the Mountaineers.
And good to see Kennedy McCoy back out there after he took a shot from Jermichael Hasty on his last punt return attempt. Carries it for a couple.
And you mentioned Morgan going for that block punt. He's got 2 in his career. These guys feel like they know how to block punts. They're not going to stop going for it either.
Tunnel screen to Ollie Jennings, and nothing there. He gets swallowed up quickly for a loss. Once again, excellent pursuit for this Baylor team by Blake Lynch.
And Adam, you're going to see that play over and over again. That tunnel screen, they hit 2 against Texas Tech. It's a bread and butter play. They're just going to keep going to it until one of them pops. It's actually kind of a home run play if you catch Baylor in the right defense.
Just a 3-man rush again. Kendall was contacted as he threw. James Lockhart was bringing some pressure, and Jennings could not hold on in traffic. Jordan Williams in on coverage for the Bears defense.
This Mountaineers offense hasn't really got a lot going here. I mean, that's pretty obvious. Going to need the defense to keep Baylor off the scoreboard. That was a little bit of pressure, a little bit of a missed throw. Now we got Groudon out here to put on another show.
Whistle blows the play dead. There's a flag thrown late.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, number 34, 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Going to move him back 5 yards. Jay Campbell tagged with that penalty, one of the backup linebackers.
It's interesting the way they punt. Such an offset here into the boundary. Snapper's got to snap that thing at an angle, try to get a little bit of an advantage.
Yeah, he snaps from the hash, and the snap goes wider of it to Groudon. He goes the opposite way to the 29-yard line for Sneed on the fair catch. 42-yard kick, early second quarter.
Guys, let's take a look back at our Enterprise Drive recap. Baylor struggled early, 3 3-and-outs to start this thing, but the last drive, spreading the ball around, 8 plays, 86 yards, twice to Snead. He started them out. They come back inside to Thornton. And then the inside fade we talked about to Snead. They had to review it, but that counts as 6. And with Brewer getting back on track offensively, Baylor's got the edge.
Norwood kicked out of the game for targeting. Let's see if they were able to adapt on this West Virginia defense in the secondary during the offensive series.
Kerry Martin Jr., KJ Martin, is out there, the true freshman once again. Very good athlete. Brewer fires, and it is caught by a lunging Tyquan Thornton. He'll pick up 9 on the play. Molly, what can you tell us about Denzel Mims?
Well, Adam, he was on the stationary bike staying warm and just tried to grab his helmet to go back onto the field, but medical training staff grabbed the back of his jersey, said no, and instructed him to go back to the locker room. He's questionable to return.
Thanks so much for that. The speedster and one of the key players, their leading receiver, is out for the time being. First down picked up on the ground in the sneak. This was the play, the targeting penalty against Norwood that took Mims out of this game.
Scary hit, obviously, anytime you have helmet-to-helmet there. Got Norwood, the senior back there, leader for the secondary, and Mims, who's an explosive player, currently questionable.
There goes JaMychal Hasty. And a good run on first down, picking up about 5.
This JaMychal Hasty guy, heck of a football player, man.
I like him. I like him a lot. You'll see him playing in the NFL on Sundays. But they just talked about him all around. Listen, this guy graduated in 3 years. He's a vocal leader on our team. He's an all-purpose guy. He'll score a touchdown, and then you'll see him covering the kickoff on the very next play. Really impressive.
He already has a special teams tackle in this game. Right back to him. Good job to get into the backfield by Sean Mahone, the safety, the cat safety. And no gain to set up 3rd down. We'll find out where Baylor is going to be come Tuesday night. First college football playoff rankings presented by Allstate, 9 Eastern on ESPN. Of course, we'll see who is in the initial top 4 of the college football playoff rankings. Now is when the committee takes a look at the full body of work over the first 2 months and tries to rank the teams accordingly.
It was kind of interesting listening to them talk whenever we had that little college football program thing down in Charlotte. I'm happy I'm not in that room.
It's tough. I've been in the mock selection. They've done that in Texas here right around this time last year. It's a difficult spot to be in. But that's what they're on the committee for. Josh Fleeks, another speedy wide receiver. He'll pick up the first down into West Virginia territory.
This is a 3rd down play where they're just really clearing it out for everyone's just clearing it out for the shallow cross to come underneath. Everyone does their job. The speedster Fleeks gets the ball. Just a great scheme, great call, great play call.
A couple big-time completions here by Charlie Brewer. Seems to be finding a groove here. Oh, here we go.
Little trickery. Oh, that was a big hit with the ball loose. They were trying to pull a fast one, and Noah Guzman got into the backfield, knocking it away from R.J. Snead.
R.J. Snead was about to heave one, and great discipline by the Mountaineers defense. Yeah, we know. I mean, we saw the point of the ball there.
Tyke Smith put the hit on Snead. Guzman got on top of that football for West Virginia.
Could have been a big-time play. Anytime you bring the tricks out of the bag, there's a potential for an explosive play. Instead, we're going to complete opposite direction because of the discipline and the incredible speed by Smith.
And we asked them, which of your receivers is your trick play guy? Who's got an arm? They said, hey, we got a bunch of guys that can throw this ball. But usually when you go with the lefty, you catch people by surprise. West Virginia was not surprised.
And they take over in excellent field position at the plus 48. Little direct snap this time to Sam James, going to the nearest side of the field. And he'll pick up about 5. This could have been a big play. There were guys open downfield.
Well, we say it all the time. There can be guys open downfield, but if you're on your back, you can't throw it to them. So you got to trick the first line of defense before you can worry about the second line of defense.
A little misdirection here with the receiver, T.J. Simmons, trying to shift his way for yardage, and he gets swallowed up by Williams and Terrell Bernard, who's in for Johnston at middle linebacker.
I mean, this is the first time tonight that WVU has gotten past the 50. Now we're set back to a 3rd and 9 here for WVU after that quick turnover by the defense. Gonna have to get something going here. The McLean Stadium is coming alive. West Virginia has not been great on 3rd down. Tonight, 0 for 7. Let's see what Austin Kendall has.
Blitz from the Bears. Kendall towards the sticks. It is caught. Well, let's see where they mark him. Isaiah Esdale, the redshirt sophomore, is going to be marked about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. Key stop by Chris Miller.
Yeah, this is an effective play, and I was curious before this play if this was 2-down territory. And Neil Brown didn't hesitate. Doesn't send his punt team on the field. They're going for it on 4th and 2.
They've converted on a sneak already. Play clock down to 3. Indeed, they'll take it down and take a timeout. We'll take it with them. 4th down coming with 8 to play in the first half. Pat, you were so terrible on game day, they're just going to bring you right back out there. Awesome job on Saturday, brother. How was it? Give us a sense of your experience as you're heading back from Memphis this weekend.
It was just a mesmerizing atmosphere. I mean, Brookings, South Dakota might as well be my new home. If I ever decide to move, I'm going to go there. It was magical. I wish they would have got the win against North Dakota State. The Dakota marker stays in Fargo, but I can't wait to get to Memphis on Saturday.
Hey, say hi to our dumb friend Kirk Herbstreit when you get there.
It's probably not the best idea, by the way.
4th down coming up, and the offense for West Virginia is out there. Kendall rolls, fires for the first down. It is complete to Ali Jennings out on the perimeter in front of Jamison Houston.
I love this play call. They go with tempo out of the huddle. They go with the sprint right action and a quick out route to Ali Jennings, who's getting a lot more targets. The freshman, they talked about maybe redshirting him, but they're just going right back to this guy. He's stepping up for him.
And Sam James, another freshman, makes the catch. Remember, Sean Ryan, who's one of their go-to receivers, is out once again. So a lot of these young guys are having to step into big roles.
This is a young team. Coach Neil Brown said, hey, you're not allowed to use the F word anymore. No more freshmen. I don't want to hear that we got so many freshmen. 6 guys starting on offense are freshmen. It's unheard of.
Kennedy McCoy stays in the backfield. They motion Kendall into the slot. Oh, bad snap. McCoy chases it down near midfield. A big loss.
Well, we mentioned freshmen. You got a redshirt freshman center. This is a very, very bad feeling. I've had this happen to me, and your goal at this point is just to get on the ball. There's the tendency to try to pick it up and make something happen, but a smart play there. Mentioned Bryson Mays, the center. That's a bad feeling as an offensive lineman. It's a thankless job.
This is something that happens with young teams, though. You get momentum going, and then you shoot yourself in the foot. Now they're back at the 50 with a 3rd and 95 here.
8 back in coverage for Baylor. They'll go to McCoy, and that's too tall.
And that's too bad. Even though that play wouldn't have gotten them a first down, it would have put them probably across the 50, Pat, and it would have given you a chance for your punter to get that punt down inside the 20.
Is this like a no man's land spot if you're punting the ball like around midfield, or what's the ideal place for you to punt the football?
I mean, Groudon here is a 5th-year senior. This kid has been around. Aussie Rules pro. I mean, he's got a lot of talent. This is something he should be able to pin him deep here. But obviously, the closer you get, the easier it is. You move the cups closer to you in beer pong, it's easier to make.
Excellent analogy.
Thank you. Elbows, please.
Snead is there for the fair catch after the 37-yard kick. They lost Josh Sills at center to a season-ending injury after 2 games. Bryson Mays, a bad snap. This season, Taco Bell is celebrating student sections and passionate fans like these by awarding the Live Ma Student Section of the Year. Baylor Bears student section showing up in their costumes on the national watch list. ESPN.com/Taco Bell to see how your school can compete or get the committee's attention by using hashtag Live Ma's Student Section Contest.
We landed on the moon.
What is that, a crescent? You got a crescent moon there?
It is a crescent moon.
That is awesome.
I assume those two kids have taken flight plenty of occasion.
Our director, Chuck, said, I think it's a waxing gibbous. So, I don't know what that means, but hey, that sounds smart.
I speak for all of West Virginia. We don't know what the hell that is.
John Lovett on the run, breaking tackles, and he's got a first down for Baylor out to the 26-yard line, picking up a dozen.
I mentioned they're a good running team. They've got a 1-2 punch with Hasty and Lovett. Not really sure who Lovett reminds me of, but he just gets positive yards. He's an attacking runner. He's a pretty physical runner also. Just seems to always fall forward for that extra yard.
There he is again. Another slip of a tackle, and he'll still pick up a yard or two on the play as Dante Stills wrapped him up.
He hit him with a little R1 there too, man. I don't know if you saw that. He's shifty. He runs hard. He's downhill. They got a couple really good backs here. 9 different runners have scored a tutter for Baylor this season.
It's impressive. And Dante Stills, we talked about him earlier, he limps off the field. That would be a big loss if he's not able to go.
He and his brother each have a sack in this game already. Brewer underneath, and Lovett works it out to the 35-yard line. Jeffrey Pooler was coming in hot on John Lovett, who picks up good yardage once again.
7 straight completions here for Charlie Brewer. The brother of quarterbacks, the grandson, the son. This quarterback, this Texas kid, is really starting to find a rhythm here in Waco on Halloween.
Austin, Texas native. Wore Vince Young's jersey number growing up, then switched to Colt McCoy's number 12 jersey. That's the number he wears now. There he goes. Running toward the corner like Vince Young. A little bit of contact after, and a couple of penalty markers come flying in as Tyke Smith, who had that big hit for a forced fumble earlier, may have come in a little late on Brewer that time.
Yeah, this is just a lack of discipline. Brewer's a good runner. And this is just an unnecessary late hit. We talked about the penalties tonight for West Virginia. You're playing an undefeated team that's much better than you are. Just, you know, you're more talented, quite honestly. You just really can't do that.
It's a freshman mistake by Tyke Smith.
It's a freshman mistake. You're coming into
after the play, personal foul, late hit out of bounds, defense, number 23, 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
Yeah, it goes from bad to worse. I mean, Charlie Brewer picks up great yards. He's very good with his feet. I mean, don't let him fool you. He is not just sneaky athletic. He is freaky athletic, Charlie Brewer. A lot more than anybody will give him credit to. And there at the end, he's obviously out of bounds. You're playing against an undefeated opponent in the conference. You just can't make that type of decision to just push him late there, because any smart person's going to fall over and tack on that extra 15.
You're absolutely right, Pat. And that just takes a 7-yard gain. Add on 15, that's 22. And you're on the other side of the 50-yard line.
Mathematist.
And on the rollout, he finds R.J. Sneed once more, close to the sticks near the 32-yard line.
Charlie Brewer with an incredible throw there. Led him, put it in a spot where he could catch it. Staying on schedule here.
It's called a runner's ball, Pat, when a quarterback gets his grades. Oh, if that was a runner's ball, if the receiver doesn't break any stride on the catch, you get a little check plus next to your name, next to the play. Good runner's ball.
Hole for Lovett. And he works down near the 20-yard line. A little bit of shifting on the offensive line for this game for the Baylor Bears. They open up a big hole for 12 for John Lovett. And here comes that Baylor tempo.
They're starting to catch a rhythm here on the offense, Adam.
Quick out route, backpedaling catch by Jared Atkinson. 3rd catch of the season for the junior.
And guys, it's really just dinking and dunking. We're not throwing the ball downfield. It's none of that. We're almost like lulling you to sleep. Sometimes it feels like death by 1,000 paper cuts. It's just body blow, body blow, body blow. There really haven't been many uppercuts. Maybe the fade in the end zone, but they're just methodically driving this thing right down the field. That's why the personal foul just makes it that much harder for these guys.
That would be horrendous, by the way.
There goes John Lovett towards the pylon, and he got grabbed at the last moment by K.J. Martin, but it's first down and goal for the Baylor Bears.
Well, we just mentioned he's falling forward. He just does a nice job of setting up blocks, getting north-south.
By the way, Sam Tecklenburg there, left guard all season, moved to right guard here with an incredibly road-grading block there for him. Incredible start.
So now Gary Bohannon, who's played a snap already, he's going to come in for this red zone play. And Charlie Brewer is lined up on the near side, on the short side, as a receiver here. No, that was a man in the neutral zone, and K.J. Martin, the true freshman.
Barely offsides, barely.
He almost read that thing perfect.
Yeah.
He almost caught the snap.
Palamalu type stuff.
Prior to the snap, there was no flag. Baylor has called their second time out of the half.
Okay.
Where do you want him at? Oh, right over here. Okay.
Oh, I got you. I think that came through nice and clear from Matt Rule and the coaching staff.
You might want to kill that mic quick.
So first down and goal coming up here. They'll shield their huddle from any coaches that are trying to snake some signs. This is what Baylor is playing for. They are 7-0 after starting 0-8 in 2017. They've had close calls this year, too. Remember, Rice played them tough in the second half. They needed a game-winning field goal against Iowa State in their Big 12 opener. They had that incredible 99-yard drive that led to a game-tying field goal. That could have been a touchdown drive, but they win in double overtime against Texas Tech. They've had some close calls. They're trying to prove themselves.
Yeah, it's incredible coaching, too, to keep 18 to 23-year-olds focused week in and week out, to be able to get wins no matter who you're playing against is a tall task. Matt Rule's been up for it thus far here for the Baylor Bears.
And Baylor's going right back to this formation with two quarterbacks in. Charlie Brewer way out right at wide receiver.
Bohannon fakes to Thornton, trying to find a seam. And Gary Bohannon is just short. Bohannon, the redshirt freshman from Arkansas, has a couple of rushing touchdowns this year. Reese Donahue stopped him.
And you usually don't see an offense go right back to the formation and play that they had called when a defense calls timeout.
Right.
Because they get to Polaroid it, or they get to see a quick snapshot of it beforehand. Baylor felt comfortable and confident in that play. They went right back to the well.
Fullback is Cody Bullard with Brewer under center and Levitt the tail. Right to Levitt. Oh, he got snatched before he went to the end zone. Just grabbed from behind by Reuben Jones, the grad transfer from Michigan.
Got Sam Tecklenburg pulling here from his left guard, where I think he went back there, but a big-time stop on the goal line there for the blue-collar West Virginia Mountaineers.
Reuben Jones saves a touchdown here by himself.
What a stop. We'll be third and goal coming. Score is 7-0 Baylor as we continue Dr. Pepper's championship drive. Game of the week. Unbeaten team at the top of the Big 12 has third down and goal from the 1 of West Virginia. 2:19 to play. West Virginia used a timeout, hoping to maybe save some time on an ensuing drive. Baylor will get the ball to start the second half.
And they are packed in there in the middle there over the center.
Little push from Cody Bullard on Charlie Brewer, trying to find a seam. Waiting for a ruling, and the head linesman says it's short, and it's going to be fourth down and goal.
Neil Brown wants another timeout.
This was not a very generous spot. It looked like he got push. Well, I guess the referee has a much better angle of it than we do.
It's going to be tough to overturn with all the bodies, so much man meat in there. Little push operation from the fullback.
They talk
Drill
about
on the field, was short of the goal line, fourth down. West Virginia has called their third and final timeout of the half. 30 seconds in late.
You guys said it, they'll save some time for their ensuing drive. What'd you see, guys?
And you gotta be so fired up if you're the West Virginia coaching staff right now. They talk about a fist fight in a phone booth inside the 1 goal line defense. And that's what they're doing. They're over there gassing them up, saying, hey, do it again, one more time. It's very likely that they're going to go for it on 4th and goal here. You got to step up one more time, put this team on your back.
And if you're Baylor, I would imagine you have enough confidence in your defense to say, fine, you want to drive 99 yards, feel free.
And really, if you're Baylor, you're talking about scoring. Like, we're undefeated. We're 7-0. We've got huge aspirations. We can't get 4 inches. We can't get 4 inches right now for the touchdown.
And for the West Virginia defense, you get a stand here. I mean, you've only had 29 total yards to Baylor's 157. It's only 7-0. This is a 4-inch play that could really tell a lot about this game here early.
It may tell a lot about West Virginia and the growth that they're seeking, right?
I think Matt Rule is very confused on how that wasn't ruled a touchdown.
I was curious, guys, after Patrick Mahomes dislocated his kneecap on that quarterback sneak, if coaches around the country were going to be maybe
a little more cautious,
and hand the ball to a fullback or to a tailback.
Let's see, they bring their fullback Bullard out there again. He's only carried the ball 2 times in his entire career. They've got John Love at the tail of the tandem on 4th down and goal. On the sneak with the push. Still waiting on the ruling, and the initial ruling is that West Virginia has come up with a goal line stand.
Wow. Twice, 2 plays in a row. Charlie Brewer up the center, and the West Virginia Mountaineers defense has stood stout down there on the goal line.
And Darius Stills is talking to him. He said, we stopped him from 4 inches out. He called him soft earlier in the game. Pat, you said he better back it up. He backed it up on that goal line stand. Incredible stop by West Virginia.
Remember what Neil Brown told us. With this young defensive group, the most competitive unit was the front, and they showed up on that series.
Baylor's motto is toughest, hardest working, and most competitive team. I mean, that's a 4-inch play there. Did he get it on 3rd down? Possibly. Didn't get called. He had to punch it in 4th. Big time stand by West Virginia, who has to go 99 now if they want to get on the board.
And from his own end zone, Kendall with a pass over the top. Looking for Sam James, the redshirt freshman. James Lockhart brought some pressure that time. You got to be careful, though, here, if you're Austin Kendall, backed up to your 1.
Yeah, and I'm going to just look at this from the Baylor defensive perspective. There's no reason that we can't get the ball and score here ourselves. I mean, this is safety territory. That throw right there was, you know, that could be pick 6 territory.
Also, backed up punt here. You need to at least pick up 4 yards if you don't want to have the Baylor Bears, who are incredible, trying to pick up something here.
Yeah, just a little cushion, right?
We have gone back 50 years in time with the scrums, the quarterback sneaks, the punts. And really, Pat, you can explain better than me why they're trying to get it out.
Yeah, right now they're trying to get the ball at least to the 5 so that they have a standard length for a punt.
Time out of the half.
So now,
please put on 1:57 on the clock, please. 1:57.
Baylor's going to try to save some time with 3rd down coming. We're back at 30. Inside of 2 to play, first half. Matt Rule's team unable to cash in on a goal-to-go situation. His defense is looking at a 3rd and 8 with West Virginia backed up inside its own 5. Neither coach has a timeout to use in this first half. But Baylor will get the ball to start the second half. This is a big play because they could have enough time to score and then get the ball to start the 3rd quarter.
I know I've stressed this a couple times because I was a punter, but it is vital to get a couple yards here, especially with how talented Baylor is at blocking kicks. West Virginia's got to pick up something here.
Underneath, here comes Letty Brown, and he's got the first down. Huge play for West Virginia's offense. That's their first 3rd down conversion in 10 tries.
Great composure by Austin Kendall, by the way. Sat back there with a 3-man rush and delivered the goods there for a big-time first down here at the end of the first half.
Wanted to get going, but a flag is thrown. Quick pass to Esdale, but trying to hurry up a little bit. I wonder if that was the reason for the penalty.
All 11 players were not set after the ready for play. 5-yard penalty on the offense. First down.
Let's check in with Matt Berry while we have a moment. was really hoping for more mustaches in the booth in the studio this week. Actually, I feel like we brought the heat with the facial hair. I wanted to see it in the studio.
They're too handsome. They're too handsome.
Yeah, fair point. Those good-looking guys will be with you in a minute 45. And 15 for West Virginia. And Esdale was the intended target on the slant. The athletic Blake Lynch, who's played corner in his career, nearly picked that one from the linebacker spot.
Pat, sometimes the best defenders are guys that used to play wide receiver. I'm thinking of Richard Sherman, but here Blake Lynch almost has the pick six. He read it, could tell that it was a short throw.
That's the thing about quick plays, right? Those can go the opposite direction quickly as well.
The West Virginia coaches are trying to give a late signal from the sideline.
Ends up being a run for Letty Brown back towards the original line of scrimmage. Inside of a minute 40 to play, third down coming.
I think they saw the 2nd and long and said, hey, we should try to keep this Baylor team off the field as well. No timeouts for either side. A run there definitely milks the clock, which is smart football.
And one of the challenges for these college coaches, it's not like the NFL where you have the coach-to-quarterback system, can talk right to your quarterback on the field. These guys have to signal in from the sidelines. Very important that situational football comes into play for these quarterbacks.
On third down, right back underneath, in space, and Letty Brown has enough for the first down again to the 24-yard line. Clock stops with 63 seconds. A ref got taken out on that play, the umpire.
Great check down here by Austin Kendall for another big-time first down. The ref takes a shot, and now Austin Kendall's getting loose here at the end of the half. Ooh, big-time shot.
There's a penalty marker with Chris Miller coming in high on the quarterback. And another marker thrown. Perhaps there was something said to an official after all that. Miller, a senior from Frisco, Texas, playing his 39th game. He's a third-year single-digit number guy under Matt Rule.
Which means he was voted by his peers as the toughest guy on the team, all the single-digit numbers. Grew up on Tough Street. The farther down you live, the tougher you are. That guy lives at the end of the road.
The cul-de-sac of Tough Street.
I think it's just a dead end. I don't think a cul-de-sac can revolve around that.
Well, Phil Snow, the defensive coordinator, told us, yeah, Chris and I fight every single day. He's crazy.
Great personality on him. There's 4 flags down right now.
Yeah.
You got the late hit on the quarterback, obviously, while he's sliding. I think one of the offensive linemen could have got one for popping off with the ref a little bit. This is going to be very interesting. 53 seconds left, no timeouts either side.
It's been a busy night already for David Alvarez. Hopefully Stuart Shake, the umpire who got taken out on that Letty Brown play, is all right. And he's in the mix there talking with the head official.
And Adam, depending on how this comes out, that's 2 huge third and long conversions.
Yeah, by Letty Brown on both occasions.
Let's talk about it. You know, let's just make sure we get it all figured out. Fans are not happy.
After the play, personal foul, late hit with targeting. Defense, number 3. Also, after the play, unsportsmanlike on number 12 of the offense, handing the ball to the opponent, taunting. That yardage will offset. The previous play is under further review for targeting. That is number 12's first unsportsmanlike of the game.
So the offense for West Virginia had a penalty against Austin Kendall. Let's see if Miller, boy, that looked like the helmet, the crown of the helmet made contact with Austin Kendall. A lot of contact on that play, and that may end up being a targeting against Chris Miller.
I mean, we don't know much about that rule other than if you lead with the crown of your helmet and hit above the head and neck area. That seems to be right out of the rule book, both of them. Then Austin Kendall gets up and hands the ball to a guy. That's taunting. Oh, here you go. Here you go. Little gift to you.
Just gave it to Chris Miller, so he's going to get a penalty on that as well. But the key here is if targeting is confirmed, then Chris Miller is out of this game. So both teams would have lost a key defensive back, a key veteran defensive back. Already West Virginia lost Josh Norwood earlier in this game.
Those hits are scary, man. I'm very lucky I never had a chance to experience that, but any helmet-to-helmet can really be detrimental.
Well, listen, I mean, Matt was joking earlier about taking hits, you know, from Gary Stills and all that, but I mean, you understand what that's like as a quarterback when you're on the run, guys coming at you, trying to avoid you perhaps, but making contact is scary.
Yeah, we're going to see it in real speed here. You know, the coaching point, if you're a quarterback coach, you're saying to your quarterback, hey, get down quicker, get down sooner. Like that extra half a yard that you're going to get isn't worth the hit that you're going to take.
After further review, the ruling on the field of targeting is confirmed. Number 3 is disqualified. Wow. The fouls offset as they were both dead ball fouls.
So the penalty yardage after all that gets offset because of the Austin Kendall penalty as well. But the big play here is Chris Miller being ejected and disqualified for targeting. Both teams have lost a key veteran defensive back. So after all that, it's just a 7-yard gain for Kendall. The 2nd down and 3 because of the offsetting penalty.
That's the 2nd time now this season that this has happened.
Yeah. Iowa State, if I'm not mistaken.
Oklahoma State, I believe.
Oklahoma State. We got a hit on the opening series a couple games ago, too. Austin Kendall has been beaten up at times this season. His backup, Jack Allison, had to play significant time against Iowa State earlier this year.
And listen, everybody appreciates and respects a hard-nosed player like that, but you just got to be smarter, because now that hurts the entire Baylor defense in a half that they've dominated now, kind of giving second life to WVU here.
So now Jaron McVay
Mr. Alvarez is making sure everybody knows what the hell's going on a very
Okay, so they did reset the chains to the 31-yard line.
And for Kendall, you mentioned it, great composure on 2 different 3rd down plays, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 10. Great composure. He takes the hit. Could have had an extra 15 yards here. Probably wishes he had better composure there instead of getting the taunting foul himself.
I think there's a lot of confusion on whether or not this should be a first down or offsetting.
Now, I guess depending on the timing of the penalties as well, because a targeting penalty is a live ball play, you could consider the taunting penalty a dead ball play as well. So I think that's what the officials are trying to sort out, because if it's offsetting, it should have just been 2nd down and 3.
You look like Matt Damon on that chalkboard in that one movie where he's the smartest guy on earth.
Or as Galifianakis in The Hangover, seeing all the machinations at the blackjack table.
Yeah, it's a beautiful mind down there.
A lot of committee work here, guys.
After discussion, the ball was dead at the 31-yard line. The line to gain was not made. It's going to be 2nd and 3 as both dead balls offset.
Okay, so we got it right. Eventually, we got it right.
Hey, impressive, by the way, that they get that right. I have no idea if they are right, by the way. I'm just taking his word for it. There's a lot of chatter there.
But again, the offsetting penalties, that's why there's no advancement of the ball, because of the initial flag against Miller. The Kendall foul eliminated that. Fresh set of downs. So that's why it's just the gain of 7 on the Kendall run, and it's 2nd and 3 as we initially thought. And the Baylor Bears come with a blitz. Kendall takes a deep shot, underthrown ball, and there's Jamison Houston with his first career interception in his 42nd career game.
It was like Austin Kendall threw that off his back foot. He had James open, I believe. Had him. If he would have made it, he had a step on him. Instead, a little bit of an underthrow. And now with 47 seconds left, Charlie Brewer and this Baylor Bears offense gets a chance to put more points on the board in the half that they have dominated, that West Virginia could have stole some points late there.
Yeah, Houston with a bail technique, meaning his eyes are back on the quarterback. That ball just needs to be thrown further.
So now Brewer gets hit as he's on the run. R.J. Sneed steps out of bounds. Remember, Baylor does not have a timeout. So that'll stop the clock with 42 seconds to go.
Brewer has hit his last 10 passing, and he took a massive shot there, but that's what he is. He's a tough kid who's now been settling into the pass game here for this Baylor offense.
He took a shot from number 50, Bartlett, on that play.
True freshman out of Georgia. Wrapped up, Charlie Brewer goes down.
No timeouts.
Yep, the clock continues to move. That time, Darius Stills into the backfield. Another tackle for loss for the junior from Fairmont, West Virginia. Was he a polar bear in high school? I think that was, he might have been a polar bear in high school.
Home of pepperoni rolls. That place is awesome.
Here comes Brewer on the run. He had Hasty blocking for him, and Charlie Brewer picks up the first down to the 49-yard line. Clock stops to reset the chains with 11 seconds left. Let's see if they spike it here. They're going to run a play instead. Seconds ticking away. Brewer to the sideline, and the tackle is made by Exree Lowe. And now with 1 second left, they were ruled out of bounds, so the clock stops with 36 seconds.
No way you can get the field goal out here. You're going to snap this thing as soon as they wind that clock.
I think they gave it to him out of bounds. I thought they were tackled inbounds. That's a very generous stoppage of the clock there by the officials.
Otherwise, the clock would move on the referee's signal. Brewer trying to end the half with a touchdown. Launches to the end zone, and it's incomplete. Leaping high, Jared Atkinson at 6'3". And that takes us to the end of the first half. West Virginia, more than a 2-touchdown underdog coming in, down just 7 at halftime. Baylor's got the ball. Matt Berry's got you in studio. Welcome you back to ESPN Thursday Night College Football from Waco, Texas, presented by Dave and Buster's. Just a 7-0 Baylor lead as we get set for the start of the second half. The undefeated Bears will get the ball to start half number 2. Adam Amin, Matt Hasselbeck, Pat McAfee, Molly McGrath in a moment as well. The Thursday Night Booth team has indeed assembled.
Ooh.
When I asked you at the top, why is Baylor 7-0? You talked about defense as well. Give them a lot of credit. They played well in the first half.
For sure. I've been in games like this. You go in at halftime, and what do you say? Offensively, you say, hey, guys, we haven't played our best football. We're still in the lead. Let's go out in the second half like it's 0-0 or 0-0. But defensively, great job. It doesn't feel like you're doing a great job, but it's a great job. It's only 7-0, but you guys have just absolutely manhandled them in the first half. Well done.
Yeah, and for West Virginia, nothing has worked on offense. They barely have any yards, and they're only down 7.
Yeah.
The defense haven't really been able to get a stop, but they're a bend but don't break with a big-time goal line stand. If you're West Virginia, you got to feel pretty good about where you're sitting with how bad you played in that first half.
And, Pat, it's a great point by you. Coach Neil Brown said, listen, our young guys are not going to be intimidated going in here playing this 7-0 team.
I love how lit that sideline is. The boys feel good for West Virginia.
Touchback out to the 25-yard line. Let's take a look at tonight's game flow brought to you by Progressive. Big touchdown for Baylor, big stand for the West Virginia defense.
Yeah, it wasn't a perfect half, but Charlie Brewer got him in the end zone with the inside fade. But then the fourth down, the goal line stand by West Virginia. This has been a physical game tonight.
Yeah, 2 targeting ejections, 1 for each side. And to be honest with you, I think there was one that was missed on the kickoff return by the starting running back for Baylor. Casey just, I mean, that was a big-time shot to McCoy's head there. That was missed in the first half, but this has been physical, some big-time shots. And I think both coaches at halftime had a lot of corrections to be made.
West Virginia just 64 yards of offense. Baylor with 183. Brewer with the read and the throw to Denzel Mims, who's back on the field. Back out to start the second half. The ball may have come loose at the end, but he was marked down at the 44-yard line. Let's see if the West Virginia...
They're going to give it to him.
They're going to say it's a turnover.
You got 2 different refs saying 2 different things. The line judge on this side says Baylor ball. The other guy says, no, it's West Virginia ball.
How about that? Denzel Mims, who was hurt in the first half, comes out in the second half, has a big strike for 31, but Keith Washington and Hakeem Bailey, the 2 cornerbacks, team up for the takeaway.
Denzel Mims was on the other end of that targeting shot by Norwood that sent him to the locker room a little bit early. Comes back in the second half with an explosive play. Ball gets punched out. Now the West Virginia Mountaineers have to capitalize on his turnover early, very early, 6 seconds in to the second half.
How about West Virginia's defense? Last 2 drives, goal line stand, and then forcing that fumble.
It's got to feel good.
That's what you got to do when your offense is struggling.
And when you're trying to pull the upset, right? West Virginia said the turnover battle is the first key to this game. Here comes Sam James, and he'll take it out to the 43. Moments ago, Molly McGrath was with Matt Rule.
Coach, what is Denzel Mims' status for the second half?
He's good to go the second half. He was good to go with about 5 minutes, and I said leave him in at halftime, and then we come out and get into play in the second half.
What does your defense need to do without Chris Miller?
Jaron McVay played the whole game last game. You know, they're playing great defense right now. The biggest issue for us is if we're not scoring a ton of points on offense, sometimes everybody thinks we're not playing well. Defense held them to 64 yards in the first half. Like, keep building on that, give the offense some time to get into a rhythm and see what happens.
Thank you, Coach.
Hey, thank you.
Talking about the physicality of the game, obviously Mims was out there with that long catch but fumble. It has been that type of physical game.
And this D-line from Baylor, they have really been difference makers. We mentioned with Clay Johnston out, the middle linebacker, who's going to step up. It's been Jordan Williams, number 38 tonight. He's been vocal. He's been all over the field with big plays.
Just a four-man rush on the slant in a tight spot for Bryce Wheaton. And the redshirt freshman has just the 5th catch of his career for a first down.
Austin Kendall wasn't that accurate in the first half. Get a little slant here to Wheaton, pick up a big-time first down. Good start for the Mountaineers offense.
And Neil Brown talked about efficient runs. I would say tonight they've had efficient passes.
Taking a deep shot. Down the middle, looking for James, and it's incomplete. Jamison Houston, who did not have a pick in the first 41 games of his career, nearly had the 2nd of the night.
Almost mossed the dude right there, Hasselbeck.
This is really just kind of a jump ball. It's a post route. It's not really led to the post. Both guys have a chance for it. Almost an incredible catch by Houston.
Incredible defense.
Sam James, right?
Sam James, the freshman, who's the explosive playmaker for this West Virginia team, hadn't played defense there for a minute.
Prevented the process of the catch from being completed for a pick. Here's Bryce Wheaton on the grab. That'll set up 3rd down for the West Virginia offense.
Sam James' birthday today, guys. That would have been a nice little birthday present.
Absolutely.
Because that would have got you on You Got Mossed on Sunday countdown, Monday countdown.
Well, I guess it would have been a bad birthday present.
You don't want
right?
that, man. I mean, he took away.
No, I'm saying he could have gone. He could have
if he had come up with the catch.
Yeah,
I see what
I mean,
you're
that
saying.
ball was anybody's ball.
50-50 ball.
I don't like 50-50, but that was a 50-50 ball.
Hey, you don't like 50-50. You think it's 70-30 to the receiver.
There's precision on it, guys.
Yep. Austin Kendall gets stopped by Jordan Williams and Terrell Barnard. It's going to be 4th down, and it looks like the West Virginia offense for the time being still out there, guys.
Think about it, third and medium right there. They go QB draw. They're calling a draw right there because they're expecting this is 2-down territory.
They've already gone for it twice on 4th down on 4th and short positions.
And both times successful. Coach Neil Brown is sending a message to his young team. This is the kind of program we're going to have. We're going to come into places like this, and we're not going to be intimidated.
Kendall for Wheaton again. Another clutch play. 10 yards to move the chains for the redshirt freshman from Fuquay-Varina, North Carolina.
Of course, Fuquay-Varina, North Carolina. But backs against the wall, 4th down for the 3rd time now. Austin Kendall throws a great ball, keeps the chains moving, and that is such a mindset for an entire team on 4th down that you're going to go for.
And strong hands for a quarterback. Tight coverage like that. If you know a guy's got strong hands, you can put that ball in a tight window and trust that he's going to come down with it.
4 or 5 this drive for Austin Kendall.
You said it wasn't very accurate in the first half. Good start here in the 2nd. Kendall with a fluttering pass and a good job to run it down by Esdale.
I had a chance to watch Peyton Manning work a little bit. He didn't always have the strongest arm, but he could drop it in a bucket. The timing was beautiful there. Almost looked like he was throwing a balloon, but that balloon landed right into the basket.
Well, it was great anticipation, and he had to throw on rhythm with anticipation because that pass rush is coming off of the edge. We mentioned Baylor. They had 25 sacks in 7 games. If you didn't know, that's a lot.
They had 25 all of last year. They came in leading the Big 12 with those 25 sacks. Letty Brown, good shift to the outside to his right, and he gets close to the sticks.
This West Virginia team must have had a little chat, a little powwow at halftime and said, hey, on the offensive side of the ball, we got to get something going. Through the air and on the ground so far early here, they've been able to make it work. Got to get points on the board, but obviously prefer 7 as opposed to 3, 2nd and short.
Another quarterback sneak to try to pick it up on 2nd and short, and he muscles to the 10 to move the chains. 50-yard drive in the first 5 minutes of this half for West Virginia. They had 64 yards in the first half total.
Yeah, and it's really quite amazing because you have the halftime speech, you come out all passionate, you're fired up, and for Baylor, they have 1 play and a turnover. And then West Virginia's had the ball the rest of this quarter.
As many first downs on this drive as they had in the first half, and they're in the red zone for the first time. Oh, Kendall wasn't looking for the ball. It's loose at the 30, still loose at the 35. Bears take over, recovered by Blake Lynch.
Miscommunication there, quarterback center.
On the field, the ball was recovered by the defense. First down, Baylor. Timeout on the field.
We know that. Thank you very much. That was once again, once they get moving, they have to shoot themselves in the foot yet again. Turnover to get the ball back out of half. They start moving. They start grinding the first time in the red zone. Miscommunication now. Baylor has the ball going the opposite direction. We got a wild one here in Waco.
You're watching the Big 12 Conference on ESPN. Both Baylor and West Virginia trading turnovers on their opening drives here in the second half. And Baylor takes over at its own 37-yard line with a John Lovett run for a couple. Penalty marker thrown on the play.
Ref got hurt throwing that flag. Threw it so far. Got rolled an ankle, I think.
Yeah. Is that the back judge? Is that the back judge? Chris Alston's the back judge.
And that thing went 30 yards there.
Landed at the 42.
And he hurt himself.
Sometimes when you crow hop a flag, things can get a little sketchy.
Yeah, you want to see it like a shortstop, really.
Well, he's a back judge, so he's more like an outfielder.
I think came from center field.
I just don't know why these officials need to throw it so
run,
far.
Block in the back. Offense, number 81, 10-yard penalty for the spot of the foul. Correction, 91. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
So block in the back against Baylor. A couple of miscues tonight on snaps with Bryson Mays at center.
Yeah, well, the first one was just in wildcat formation and just a bad snap. The second one, it's actually a good snap. It's just snapped at the wrong time. The quarterback's not looking for the ball. And then to make matters worse, Kendall can't keep his feet to chase after the ball. At that point, it's got to be 100% effort. Everybody get on that ball. Matt Rule says the ball is king. Couldn't agree more. Some guys were hustling, some guys not so much.
On first and long, there goes Charlie Brewer. And he gets submarined by Noah Guzman, the sophomore from California. Picked up 7 on that run.
And we asked co-offensive coordinator Jeff Nixon, hey, how do you feel about Charlie Brewer and all these runs, these designed runs? And he said, I love him. I love him. I wish we'd call more of him. He is a great runner. And, you know, he creates as a runner, too. It's not just on the design runs. He does it on his own as well.
Remember, he had that great bowl game against Vanderbilt, had over 100 yards rushing in the Texas Bowl. And the average is about 2.5 yards per carry for his career. But again, take consideration sack yardage as well.
Well, I had negative yardage in my career, so.
We weren't going to bring it up or anything. There's Denzel Mims. Remember, he had the fumble right out of the gate in this second half. He holds on that time and takes it into West Virginia territory.
Pat, I mentioned the ball is king. He held on to it for dear life there. Nice look off by Charlie Brewer. Comes back on time on the skinny post. And like I said, that ball is king. He is not letting go of that.
Back to Lovett. Runs into Stills. Picks up 2.
Stills just ate him there and almost put him to the ground. That was a heck of a play by Stills there. But Charlie Brewer has been nothing short of impressive this year. I mean, they only have 7 points, obviously. But he's found a rhythm. He's commanding this offense. I saw his brother outside who played for Virginia Tech. Said he just has this mature ability to kind of handle any situation. Rough stuff in the first half, at the end of the first half. Right back on schedule.
Movement before the play and a penalty marker thrown.
False start. Offense, number 61, 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Well, Big 12 now on ESPN Plus, a must-have for Big 12 fans. The exclusive home for the weekly Les Miles all-access show. It's worth it just for that. Plus 40 men's basketball games. You're going to see plenty of women's games as well. Remember who the defending national women's champion is. It's these Baylor Bears. Sign up today at ESPNplus.com/Big12 now. I'm excited. I go to stores on January the 9th, Baylor and UConn.
Yeah, and Olympic sports too on there. Adam.
A lot of track studs at Baylor. Honored Will London tonight. There's a crossing route to Josh Fleeks, and he got hammered by Tyke Smith. If nothing else, Tyke Smith has shown this guy is going to put a lick on you.
Well, he's ready for it. He's got eyes on the quarterback. They pass off the shallow cross. Really excellent defense there by Tyke Smith, the freshman from Philadelphia.
You gotta remember, we've had good secondary at WVU throughout the history. Pac-Man Jones, ever heard of it? Little swagger there, big-time shot.
I have played against him. Pound for pound, very tough guy. Good tackler.
He'll knock you out in the airport, too, if he's sold the Popeyes.
I imagine other places, too. Brewer under pressure. Well, he looks like he wants to run it. He will. He'll get run out of bounds by Jared Bartlett. I think the Baylor bench was looking for a flag, but none doing there. 4th down coming up.
Charlie Brewer does not like to throw the ball away. I mean, most quarterbacks throw the ball away there. He runs 25 yards to gain 0.
A little close there for a late hit. I think he initiated contact on the field of play.
I agree with you, Pat. I think he did.
Kind of hung on to it there. But Charlie Brewer, tough quarterback. Never says no.
Tough Texan. You mentioned his brother Michael. He was a tough dude too at Texas Tech and Virginia Tech. Got to call his games when he was in college. That ball hit Lovett, who's in on the punt unit, and it's down by Ross Madison inside of the 20-yard line. Cold and chilly on this. We welcome you back to ESPN Thursday Night College Football, presented by Dave and Buster's. They have a theme room there called the Urban Legends of Waco. I feel like when I'm in the booth with you guys, I hear nothing but urban legends.
I like that these kids sold out here for Growloween at Baylor University.
I get it. It's because they're Bears.
Yep, sick 'em, Adam. Bears? Sick 'em. I like to cow myself, you know?
I understand.
Milk that one for all it's worth.
Austin Kendall has separation from a receiver, and it's caught by George Campbell. They're an extra point away from tying this game on their first huge play of the night for 83 yards.
What a beautifully delivered ball here by Austin Kendall right down the middle of the field. The longer this game goes, I think the more confidence that this WVU team has that they can make this happen on Thursday Night Football in Waco. Needed this, obviously. Takes the big shot, drops it in the bucket. Touchdown, West Virginia Mountaineers, looking like Pat White to Darius Reynaud or Tito Gonzalez back in the day.
D. Renard.
And now Casey Legg, who has never attempted a kick in a competitive football game. He was a soccer player who got brought in because of an Evan Staley injury. He's on for the first time, and he's able to tie this game at 7 apiece.
Well, Pat, you said it. He threw it right down the middle of the field. It's because it was a post. Lead him across the middle. He learned from his mistake. 83 yards. Touchdown, West Virginia.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's look at tonight's timely delivery brought to you by our friends at DoorDash. It just happened and it was magical. Austin Kendall drops back, buys some time, and delivers an 87 or 83-yard dime to George Campbell, putting them on the board to make this a 7-7 game in Waco, Texas.
How about that? First 48 plays, 87 yards. That's their longest pass play since Geno Smith found Stedman Bailey for a big play back 7 years ago.
And that's a big deal for West Virginia. It's also a big deal for Neil Brown. 21 freshmen or sophomores in the 2 deep here at West Virginia, and they're hanging with the undefeated Baylor Bears.
A reminder, our Saturday Night Football game presented by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's American Conference matchup. Huge one between unbeaten SMU and the Memphis Tigers hosting game day Saturday night, 7:30 on ABC. And a look at the Week 10 in the top 25 our college football rankings brought to us by Goodyear. Don't forget, the first college football playoff rankings come out on Tuesday. What are you thinking about, guys, here? No, a lot of idle up there.
Well, there's not a lot of games, but I'm thinking like that Utah team is very good. They got to go up to Seattle, play at UW. Big one in Florida, the Swamp, Georgia.
Well, it's in Jacksonville, that one, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Every year.
Ooh, Denzel Mims lost it in midair, and it may have been taken away by Kerry Martin, but the officials come in and say incomplete. Wow, that could have been a big swing.
Back judge come flying in with
the field is an incomplete pass.
We know.
Second down.
Well, that ball popped out, and KJ Martin nearly rescued it. Wow. And then, unfortunately, after all that, there's an injured player.
That was very close.
Down on the field for West Virginia.
It's the eyes on the back judge here who came flying in saying it was incomplete. Must have saw it touch the ground there after an incredible effort. Yeah.
Close play. Keith Washington, who had missed the last couple of games due to injury, returned tonight. He's down on the deck, slow to get up. We'll step aside. Back in Waco, Texas tonight, college football primetime presented by Dave & Buster's. West Virginia, a better than 2-touchdown underdog, tying the game on a long pass. Keith Washington was taken off the field moments ago after being banged up. Running Nick Troy Fortune, a freshman. Charlie Brewer throwing to the sidelines, and Denzel Mims isn't letting that one go. Had a drop a moment ago that nearly led to an interception. It was not reviewed, and this one for 19 yards to Mims.
And a really nice throw and a really nice catch. That ball is up high where the defender really can't get to it. Mims is 6'3". Does the toe tap. Well done.
Brewer stepping up and running again. Sliding under Bartlett this time. He started the slide at the 49 in West Virginia territory. 7 more on the ground for the Austin, Texas native.
And you guys, that is something that is a strength of Charlie Brewer's game. He is an excellent scrambler. In the pocket, 2 hands on the ball, protecting it, eyes downfield. He's an excellent runner downfield.
Overlooked by a lot of Power 5 schools. He was a little smaller in high school. Jamichael Hasty. And he's got a good run inside the 35. First down for Baylor. 15 more on the ground, boys.
Yeah, Jamichael Hasty, we talked about it. He's a heck of a football player. Makes a great bounce out to the outside. Does a little stutter step, slow down, picks up a quick first down for the Baylor Bears to keep it moving.
And how you answer, how you respond after a big post like that is critically important.
Yeah, you got to put the fire out.
Won the ball again, and Hasty powers ahead. Picks up 9. He puts Baylor over 100 yards rushing for the night.
And this is what the great teams do. You're talking about having the aspirations that Baylor does. They're undefeated. They've got big games coming up. You need to put people away. Like, you get hit in the mouth, you got to answer. And that's really what this drive is all about right now.
This time Brewer keeps it, and he's going to take the hit from Guzman. Picks up 4 and a first down. You guys talked about Charlie Brewer. This kid in high school was 6 feet, 175 pounds. That's part of the reason.
Officials timeout related to the defensive player.
Part of the reason that he was overlooked. Noah Guzman, who had the hit, he's getting checked out. He was
Charlie Brewer
on the receiving end of that, yeah. Absolutely.
You said it, guys. I think Charlie Brewer is the one who delivered that hit.
We talked about the physicality of this game. 2 targeting calls. There may have been one that was missed on a kickoff in this game. Guzman's been limping off. We saw Keith Washington come off the field a moment ago. He's back on the field now. It is rough out there in a 7-7 game.
Matt Rule talked about their team being the toughest, hardest working, and most competitive. When your quarterback lowers the shoulder and booms a guy, that sets a standard for everybody. If our quarterback's willing to do it, everybody's got to do it.
On the fake, on the slant, it's Denzel Mims, and the Bears take the lead.
You guys, they got the running game going. That was it, set up this play action pass. Mims was great all drive after the fumble. On the skinny post, right down the pipe, wide open. That's the answer to getting hit in the mouth with the post earlier. That's how you do it offensively. Well done by Baylor offensively on that.
Denzel Mims went to the locker room after taking a shot in the first half. He's back in the books to give Baylor the lead.
Has a fumble, says, don't worry, let me make up for that. Incredible touchdown drive by Charlie Brewer, and the Baylor Bears the answer.
He was a promising pitcher and quarterback until an arm injury as a high school freshman. He says he still can't throw a spiral, but he can run the post, and he just scored a touchdown to put Baylor in front.
And I got to give a lot of credit to Matt Rule. They said, hey, he's healthy enough to come back. He said, you know what, let's just sit him the rest of the second quarter. We'll rotate our other guys, give him a chance to come in at halftime, make sure he's feeling good. And check out the sidelines now. He's got this sidelines pumping. The coaches' kids are out there. They're getting the team hyped. What a difference one drive makes.
Here comes a long return. West Virginia's got an opportunity. Could this be the big play they were looking for? How about it? Winston Wright all the way to the house. The true freshman from Georgia answers back. 95 yards.
Sets up his blocks beautifully, weaving, dicing, slicing, all the way for a touchdown here on a kickoff return. Baylor Bears answer the big-time strike. Then immediately after that, the freshman gets the ball. The blocking unit did incredible, majestic, and up to the races for the kickoff returner. We got a great one here, becoming a shootout in Waco.
And West Virginia came in ranked 92nd in the country in return yardage. This is what they needed. And he outruns the entire Baylor track and field team in the process.
So his leg for his second career extra point. It's good. Guys, Winston Wright had never returned a kick in college, and the first time he does, he has helped West Virginia tie this game at 14.
Our Week 9 Monday Night Football matchup has Dak Prescott, Zeke Elliott, and the NFC East leading Cowboys at MetLife Stadium to take on Saquon Barkley and the Giants at 8 Eastern on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and the ESPN app. Coverage begins with Monday Night Countdown at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
And Sunday morning, Pat, at 10 a.m., Sunday NFL Countdown. I'll be there. Teddy Bruschi and I are going to be breaking down some Tom Brady versus the Baltimore Ravens and Lamar Jackson. We've got an exclusive interview with Dak Prescott. Randy Moss is going to be ranking the best You Got Moss plays from college football this weekend. Should be excellent stuff. There'll be a little Julian Edelman tape on there, I'm sure.
Oh, okay.
What else are we talking about? Talking about Aaron Rodgers, talking about Jacoby Brissett. A lot of quarterback talk this Sunday. Sunday NFL Countdown.
Hey, this is incredible football here.
This is a fun ball game. It was physical. It was herky-jerky in the first half. Out of the gate, both teams with turnovers in the second half, but these last few minutes have been explosive.
Hey, last few minutes, you're not kidding, Adam. An 83-yard touchdown pass. Then Baylor answers with a touchdown pass. Then we have a 95-yard touchdown return. What's next?
First kick return for a touchdown for West Virginia since Shelton Gibson did it in this building against Baylor 4 years ago. They're trying to answer on the way back. Looks like Treston Ebner on the return. He's been a little banged up as of late as we get a look at who's slinging it tonight, brought to us by Sling TV.
I'd argue Charlie Brewer is slinging it around the yard. Incredible pass there to Denzel Mims. Then he backs it up, double down with a touchdown post for Denzel Mims.
You see what he's done in this third quarter. Fairly accurate night for Brewer, 17 of 21 for over 200 yards.
Very chatty official.
David Alvarez getting in there. It was an offsides penalty, by the way, against West Virginia on the kick, so tack on 5 more yards for Baylor, hence they started the 33.
I like he's trying to keep everybody informed on what's going on. Charlie Brewer now, is he going to be able to answer again?
Double move.
Yep, looking for Mims, and overthrown.
Well, that's what's happened. They've gone with the play action. They've hit a couple of those slant routes or skinny post routes, and they came back to it. They tried. Here's the receiver down in the bottom. He's going to fake like he's going to run a slant route against inside technique, and then he's going to go by him. West Virginia is up for the challenge. Bailey's not taking the bait.
Is that a sluggo?
It's called a sluggo.
Slant and go.
Huh.
It's also known as a 2 route or a 2 pump. 2 is a slant. They say 2 pump. That's a slant and go.
Does he get too deep?
Just letting that one hang in the air for a second. Brewer gets swallowed up, and the Stills brothers are there again. Darius comes up with the sack.
Meet me there or beat me there. They said we're going to need Stills to step up and make some plays. Our guys up front are the strength of our team, strength of our defense.
What's interesting here is Baylor came into this game ranked 17th in sack differential, +12. Tonight, 6 for both sides. The D-lines have been eating tonight.
6 sacks for West Virginia. They'd only allowed Baylor 13 all year coming in. 5-man pressure from the Mountaineers. Reuben Jones nearly had Charlie Brewer, who escapes. He's still behind the line of scrimmage. Charlie Brewer finally goes down. He's chased down by Sean Mahone back at the 22.
I don't know if Charlie Brewer is allergic to a throwaway, but if this is not the opportunity to throw the ball away, I don't know what is. He trusts his athleticism. He's a very creative runner, but that was just a kick in the stomach in terms of field position.
Sometimes you just got to say no mas. You know, I respect the fact that he's so competitive. He comes from Lake Travis, Baker Mayfield, that type of thing. But sometimes you just got to throw it away to save your team. Now he lost 12 yards of field position.
Ooh, let's see if the roll can help out power here, and it does in a big way. That's a punter's best friend, I'm guessing, Pat McAfee.
No yard left behind. I don't care how you get him. It looked ugly, but it was a little bit of a flip of a field position after a big-time sack.
Star-studded Friday doubleheader on ESPN and the ESPN app. Harden and Westbrook leading the Rockets against Kyrie and the Nets. And then LeBron, Anthony Davis, and the Lakers are in Dallas, right down the road. They'll take on Luka Doncic, Kristaps Porzingis, and the Mavs. Through 76 games, LeBron James averaged 21 a game. Luka Doncic, who was outstanding in his rookie year last season, putting together excellent numbers, the leader of that Mavs bunch. Mavs getting better each of the last 2 seasons.
You're going to have to score in the West. Harden put up 59. They won 158.
Of course, they lost. The Warriors lost their outstanding star, Steph Curry, to a hand injury as well. Letty Brown picking up a few to start this West Virginia drive. How about this, guys? 17-plus point underdogs coming in on the road, unbeaten team hosting, and here they are in a tie slugfest at the end of the third.
Yeah, if you're Neil Brown, as ugly as this game has been, you haven't played your best, you're still in this game. You have a chance to be college football spoiler this week.
Oh, whoa, what a hit on Winston Wright Jr. We talked about the physicality of this game. Braylon Arnold, welcome back to the lineup. He didn't play against Oak State.
Well, he's a veteran. He's been injured. This is a good, clean hit. Keeps the helmet out of it.
Flex Arnold. This place is coming alive, Matt.
Just a 3-man rush with a spot. That's Bernard. He nearly got to Kendall, who was able to deliver up the sideline to Brown, and it's going to be ruled incomplete. 4th down coming up.
I think he catches it, but he gets his body out of bounds. Austin Kendall doing everything he can to extend the play.
Yeah, ball landed out of bounds.
Have to punt it, send it back to Charlie Brewer in the offense of the Baylor Bears.
And they're missing a guy.
Yep.
And of course, the guy that they're missing is all the way down at the 25-yard line. So he just did a dead sprint, 40 yards, and now he's got to go sprint again and cover this kick. That's your penalty for not being out there on time.
I got you.
Signal, yep.
That's what the punter said to number 46 who came out late. I got you, man.
I'll get you that hang time so you don't have to sprint. So here we go. Baylor gets the ball back. We'll update you on this if you're just flipping around tonight. App State could be on the ropes. They're down 17 points, their largest deficit in more than a year. Remember, Georgia Southern knocked out Tennessee in a game earlier this year. They've got App State on the ropes on ESPNU. Minnesota and Penn State square off soon, next week.
Yep.
November the 9th, SMU in Memphis. SMU's got to go on the road this weekend with the game day crew in tow. And here, Baylor and West Virginia are in a slugfest tied at 14, late third quarter.
The game day crew and Pat McAfee.
Well, he's part of the game day crew. So I was just
Am I?
I don't know. I don't know.
Part of it.
Hasty ran for 6. You guys figure it out. I don't know.
Am I allowed to say I'm a part of that crew? I don't know.
This week you are.
At least this week.
You know, as a member
Ride
of the game
that
day
way.
crew.
Ride that way, McAfee. Ride that way.
That's going to have business cards made up.
He's got to update the business cards
For the
now.
game day crew.
There goes Hasty again for a first down out to the 33-yard line.
We've said it a lot. This Hasty guy is a heck of a football player. He got away with a big-time shot on a kickoff return, but he was covering kickoffs. He can make the explosive play in between the tackles. It's been an impressive offense here for the Baylor Bears in the second half.
He and Lovett have turned together some good rushing yardage. They've combined for nearly 100 yards on the ground tonight. Right back to Hasty. Nice shimmy shake to get around Martin, and he'll take it up to the 40.
Talking to defensive coordinator Vic Koenig about this West Virginia team, he said, listen, we just can't play a ton of snaps. Like, if we're on the field too long and people are grinding it out, running it against us, that's not where we want to live. We got to get off the field on third down when we get the chance.
And on the flip side, the Baylor offense said that that's what they love. They love the second half run game. They like wearing down the defense.
They call themselves a fourth quarter team, and I think the numbers back that up. A lot of people say that, but the numbers back it up for Baylor.
And here we are.
And if Matt Rule has a lead in the fourth quarter, I can't tell you the last time he lost a game that way. So here we are in a tight game, an undefeated team, and possible spoiler, and this is right where Matt Rule wants to be.
Who would have thought this going to the fourth in Waco? Tied at 14 as we continue Dr. Pepper's championship drive. Game of the week. Couple of unbeatens in action tonight. Both have been tested. Matt Rule, 38 straight wins when tied or leading entering the fourth quarter. They've had close calls all year in this 7-0 start. Charlie Brewer somehow evades the pressure. And he's going to turn it into a positive play. Go end over end towards the sticks.
What an effort play by Charlie Brewer. He doesn't like throwing the ball away. No play is over for him. He gets outside of the pocket and decides, I'm going to put my head down and run a guy over. Gets upended. We don't see that on. They're doing something wrong at Sports Center with the top 10.
Jake Long was there for the tackle, sending Brewer over the top for a first down to the 44.
And I mentioned he does it well for you young quarterbacks out there. He takes his back shoulder and he pulls it forward. He reverses his shoulder angle, and that's how he gets out of the pocket. Excellent job.
And another run for Brewer, and this time Long went after him again, and he may get tagged with a penalty.
Charlie Brewer's putting his team on his back right now. 14-14, fourth quarter at home, undefeated season on the line. I got you, cuz, he says. One outside the pocket, one up the gut. Slides, a little bit of a late hit there. Going to probably tackle on another 15.
And I feel for these defenders at times. A late slide usually equals a late hit. And he just saw him just run over somebody. So how do you know that he's going to slide?
Right.
I think it's a good call by the officials. I just think that it's tough for these defenders making a split-second decision.
Wonder if they're discussing the potential of targeting here. There didn't seem to be a thrust or launch, but Brewer is, as a runner.
There are 2 fouls on the play, and they will both be enforced during the run. Holding offense, number 63, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. After the play, personal foul, late hit to a late sliding quarterback. Defense, number 24, that 15-yard penalty will be enforced and an automatic first down.
Should be 22, I think. So, but that being said, Jake Frumorgan got tagged with a holding penalty. Well, they'll fix it there. Thank you, Dave.
You heard you, Adam.
We should just give him a live mic for the whole show.
I've got enough live mics in this booth right now, man. I can't handle another one, okay?
It was funny watching both teams there because he said both will be enforced. The holding and then the 15, they were kind of walking back and forth like a pendulum there. First and 10 at 42.
Go to Treston Ebner, and he gets hit hard. To secure the football as Reese Donahue made the stop.
And we weren't sure if we were going to see Ebner tonight, banged up, but he's their best receiving back out of the backfield. A quicker guy, kind of a lighter guy. a great receiver out of the backfield.
Had a lower body issue, didn't play against Oklahoma State. He was clutch against Texas Tech on that game-tying drive. That was one of the close calls for Baylor. Texas Tech, Iowa State, they had to survive against Rice. Coming off a bye week, both of these teams. The fake and the pass to the outside, just shy of the sticks. Tackle was made on the perimeter on Tyquan Thornton by Hakeem Bailey.
In West Virginia, their DBs, they're playing off and inside. They're playing hard inside, so they take away the slant, and they're playing way off, so it takes away the slant and go that we talked about earlier. So Baylor says, no sweat, we'll just throw out routes.
Good adjustment by the defense, right? They've been beat on the slant, they've been beat on the sluggo.
And kind of a hockey line substitution here. We now have 2 quarterbacks in the game.
Bohannon checks back in. This is the formation we saw in the goal line situation at the end of the first half. So Gary Bohannon with a design run has a first down, lost the football momentarily. Sean Mahone was there to try to knock it free and steal it, but Bohannon on his way to the deck held on for dear life.
Little window dressing there, bring the guy in motion, then run it right up the gut. Mahone tries to get it out. Gary Bohannon with the incredible wherewithal to regain it and have a first down here for the Baylor Bears.
And guys, I mentioned it earlier in the game, this is a running team. I mean, they find different ways to creatively run the ball. Baylor, undefeated, one of 9 teams in the country without a passing touchdown in the 4th quarter. Doesn't seem to matter. They seem to want to put their foot down in another way, and that's running the football.
You said it earlier, 9 guys have had a rushing touchdown this year. They had a drop in that Texas Tech game that could have been a 4th quarter score that would have won it. Denzel Mims, who had that drop on the would-be game-winning touchdown against Tech, holding on inside the 20. We got a flag here on the far side of the field.
And a pretty good jump pass running to his left there by Charlie Brewer. And we've got a boardroom meeting again.
Jared Bartlett was on the chase there, Charlie Brewer.
Yeah.
And there was like a cutback block almost that came back towards him.
During the run, personal foul, low block. Number 7 in the offense, blocking back to his end line. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, still first down.
Well done, Pat.
I mean, I got eyes everywhere. It looked like he was in some big pain, though. I mean, he was selling out. Number 7 looks back for him. I got your back. Brewer goes low, takes out the leg.
That's an easy call.
Now they're first and 20 something.
First and a lot. And really, you know, your goal here is obviously to at least get back into field goal range here. You know, obviously they like to get the first down. No matter what happens, you'd like to come away with points here.
John Mayers, his long this year is just 38. Granted, it was the game winner against Iowa State. First and a quarter of the field, and Reese Donahue just knocks that ball down. Senior from Milton, West Virginia.
Reese Donahue's been all over the place. We saw him come out late on the punt team, but he's still on the punt team. Then he's forcing Charlie Brewer out of the pocket. Right there, he goes up with the big paw like he's J.J. Watt and says, no, thank you.
And they mentioned that he was one of the emotional leaders of this team. Really a fiery guy, up there, plays hard, doesn't take any plays off, gets the push there. And I mentioned, obviously, you want to come up with points, but you got to win first down. You got to get some sort of win. They didn't get the win there. They try to get it here on second down.
With Hasty. Kind of steam, trying to get a lot of that yardage back. And as Hasty goes out of bounds, he gets wrestled to the ground. The whole Baylor bench was looking for another flag as Tyke Smith, who's shown that he's willing to get in there, to say the least, was wrestling Hasty.
Hasty came up flexing, too. You can belly-to-back suplex me if you have to. I'll get up. There is no dodging in Hasty's game. I mean, he runs right into traffic here, full speed. And he gets a full-on suplex there out of bounds, gets up, flexing. You're going to have to do more than that to take me out of this thing.
Well, right now, they're at the 31, so this is like a 48-yard field goal. That is seemingly out of John Mayer's range.
Timeout here.
We'll step aside as well.
Their first time out of the second half.
Third down. Let's see what Matt Rule draws up for the Bears in a tie game in the 4th. The only Heisman winner in Baylor history since they started playing football at the turn of the 20th century. RG3. Since 2000, the third 7-0 start. Clemson, Alabama, and Ohio State have done it 7 times. Baylor doing it for the 3rd time. You see the Art Briles era on the field. Put together a lot of wins. We're 7-0 under Matt Rule in his 3rd year. Charlie Brewer trying to get some key yardage on this play. And they'll get inside the 20. And why is that important, Pat Mack?
That's absolutely huge. You've had a kicker here that hasn't hit a 40-yard field goal yet. Get him up in field goal range. It's a 14-14 game. All points matter. Charlie Brewer, elusive in the pocket, sneaks out of there. Big-time game now for a 4th and 6 or whatever, but good field goal operation here from 36, 37 yards.
Yeah, and that's why you call timeout with 3rd and 18. You come over, you get the perfect play call. They go quarterback draw. They're not going to get the first down, but they're going to get a makeable field goal in a tie game.
You tell Charlie, hey, this is what we're looking for.
Yep.
Between 36 and 37 for Mayers, who's 5 of 7, and this is redshirt freshman year. And he puts Baylor in front.
What a big-time kick by him. 4th quarter, undefeated season on the line. 36.5-yard ball right down to 7. 17, right down the middle, 17-14 here in Waco.
As mayhem begins, presented by Allstate, we're getting ready for the college football playoff rankings release on Tuesday. Who do you guys have as your top 4, boys?
Hey, it's not what have you done for me lately. It's who do you trust at the end of the year. I trust Dabo. I trust Trevor, Etienne, Higgins, Venables.
Yeah, I mean, the top 4 there, I think you can kind of take them out. You want them. LSU, Alabama's going to be a massive game. Penn State, Minnesota, though, is our 5s. I like that a lot next week as well for the Big Ten. And then I got Oklahoma. I think they're going to bounce back after that Kansas State loss. I like them a lot. Should have put Baylor in there. If I would have known they were going to be able to bounce back like they have tonight, I would have done that.
You like Justin Fields, huh? I like Justin Fields.
I love Justin Fields. People who know things tell me he's the best quarterback in the country. Well, I think that same person's telling you the same information.
Here comes Alex Sinkfield on the return. They avoided Winston Wright, who ripped a 95-yard kick return touchdown on his first career collegiate return. The last time he touched it. West Virginia takes over as we go down to Molly McGrath.
Well, Adam, Baylor's defense was fired up watching Charlie Brewer's physicality during that last drive, telling each other, look what our quarterback is doing. They're inspired by his toughness. I would expect them to match it here, as their message on the sideline is let's shut them out in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, I mean, you live by that mantra, toughest, hardest working, most competitive. And if your quarterback, a guy that's normally protected, is out there just throwing it all caution to the wind, you have to respect it. You have to love it. Charlie Brewer's done that.
Now Austin Kendall with a chance to counter. It looked like maybe Jordan Williams stepped into the neutral zone. Was he drawn off?
Classic 4-flag play.
It might be on the center here, guys.
False start. Offense, number 79, 5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
John Hughes, sophomore from Texas, got called for that penalty. We got a great one tonight. When we're done, Michael Eaves and Zubin Mehenti at 49ers Cardinals reactions. Jimmy Garoppolo was tearing it up. Trevor Maddich details why the Georgia offense is struggling ahead of their showdown in Jacksonville. And hear from Nate Diaz and Jorge Masvidal ahead of UFC 244. Sports Center coming up next when we're done in Waco. Austin Kendall on the out route, finding Esdale. Gets dragged down by Grayland Arnold at the 30. It'll be 3rd down and 6.
Really nice throw to Esdale. On time and outside, runner's ball. We talked about it earlier. Taking what the defense gives you. Trying to get on a roll here.
Kendall twisting away. Receiver comes back to the ball, and it's dropped by Bryce Wheaton. A problem that has been popping up game after game for West Virginia.
Austin Kendall utilizing his legs to extend the play, finds Wheaton wide open. It's the 20th drop pass of the season here for the West Virginia Mountaineers. Can't have that in 4th quarters of massive games.
I was going to say, is it a moose? Is it a reindeer? On 3rd down, Williams into the backfield. Kendall avoids him. He will not avoid the second surge. Shut down by Terrell Bernard.
Well, we mentioned someone's got to step up. 0 sacks tonight for the Baylor Bears, a team that's very good at getting sacks. They're missing their middle linebacker, Clay Johnson, in a critical moment. Number 26, Terrell Bernard steps up for this defense.
Fair catch at the 34. First sack of the night for Baylor. They're 26 to lead the Big 12.
Austin Kendall was doing all he can to extend the play, but the Baylor defense said, tackle for a loss on 3rd down. Baylor gets the ball back on the other side.
We talked about Charlie Brewer, physicality and toughness. Over 200 yards passing on the night tonight. Added 30 yards on the ground with a couple of touchdowns in the air.
Yeah, this kid's a gamer, man. Matt Rule says it doesn't matter how he plays throughout the game. In the 4th quarter, he wants the ball in his hands. And I think he's proved that here late in this game.
Completed 75% of his passes tonight. And he's gotten some help from Jermichael Hasty as he runs it for 8 yards on 1st down. Better than 5 yards a carry for Hasty tonight.
They've been pounding the rock here late. Wearing down the D-line for West Virginia. Then pop a pass every once in a while.
Right back to Hasty. Ooh. Got to the line to gain. That's a 1st down for Baylor.
Did you see that shake, Hasselbeck?
Yeah.
You ever had that in your life? A little shake like that?
No, I've never had that, but I have been in this situation, and this is where you'd like to feed your runners. And you go 8-yard gain and then an efficient 2.5-yard gain for a 1st down. Your quarterback's running it well. Your runners are running it well.
Hasty limping a little bit as he went to the sideline a moment ago, so John Lovett checks in. He'll get this carry up to the 48.
A little chilly here in Waco, and when you're not on the field for a little bit, maybe get your sea legs up under you there for Lovett. 8 minutes left, though, up 3 in a hard-fought battle. You're going to want to waste this clock away if you're Baylor. You're going to want to keep this thing on the ground. But you got to know that you have weapons outside as well that can potentially pop a big one.
Yeah, and it's not so much that you're fighting this clock. You're just trying to wear down this team. They got a lot of freshmen. They don't have a lot of guys. They had lost a guy to targeting also.
Over the middle to Ebner. We talked about him being a big pass catcher out of the backfield, and his first grab takes him to the 40 of West Virginia.
And this is the old Reggie Bush route, the little option route by the running back. You can go inside or outside. Typically, you go outside. But if you go inside, it happens every once in a while. It's a big play. That was a big one for Baylor.
You tell your running back to just pick the best space or just beat your guy?
No, it's basically go outside every single time. You want to go inside about as often as you see a grand slam. We call it the grand slam.
Gotcha.
Doesn't happen often, but when it does, it's a nice big play.
Ebner, another good run this time.
Congrats to the Nationals winning the World Series. Speaking of grand slams.
Segway King Pat McAfee. What do you think? What do you think of baseball?
Yeah, we went to a baseball game in Houston. Went to an Astros game. I think Pat's exact words were, "Baseball stinks."
There's a lot of fans in Texas that agree with you right now. Ebner, tackle for loss. Kerry Martin, one of those younger players, freshman, having to step in for Josh Norwood, who was lost to that targeting penalty you were talking about.
They've been able to move the ball here, but right now it's a 35. They're not in field goal range.
Right.
So you're going to have to pick up some yards here. Either make this 2-down territory to pick up a 1st down, or you're going to have to punt the ball back with a short field.
Matt Rule has gone for it once on 4th down tonight. It was at the goal line, and his offense got stood up. They've only gone for it on 4th down 7 times this year. Play clock down to 5. West Virginia brings some pressure. Brewer starts to feel it. Flag is thrown. Stills is chasing, and Dante Stills brings down Brewer. We'll have to check the flag at the 44. It's a loss of 9 if it stands.
Holding. Offense, number 56. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
Blake Bettier, the right tackle, will have that penalty decline because they'll take the 9-yard loss. Now they're even further out of field goal range back at the 44.
Whoa, Black Bettier holding on for dear life there. Charlie Brewer will extend the play. Every once in a while you get out of the pocket. It makes it very difficult for your tackle to stay on the block there. Once he gets out from in front of you, you got to let him go. But incredible persistence by Stills there. This defense has bent but not broke in this 4th quarter. Coming into the season, they've only given up 13 sacks, this Baylor Bears team. Tonight, 8. And that is a lot of credit to this West Virginia defense, who's been very persistent with a lot of effort and grit.
And 5 of those sacks are from the Stills family.
Hey,
Yep.
meet me there.
Or beat me there.
That's how I feel about the taco line. It's like, you meet me there, you better beat me there. Else I'm taking those tacos.
Delay game.
Take the penalty here, move it back 5 more yards.
Is declined. Still fourth down.
They'll decline it, will West Virginia. Smart move there by Neil Brown. You like the extra yardage if you're a punter, right? You told me that?
No, I think...
All right, so I'm lying. Yeah, you didn't tell me that at all.
If the beer pong cup is closer, it's probably easier to make. That's why they check your elbows here. But it also gives your coverage team less yards to have to go down there and down it. So it actually helps being closer than further. Neil Brown has a strategy for something. He's probably watching more film than I have. I would have backed him up there.
Inside the 15. Talked about the unbeatens in action tonight. App State is trailing by 3 as it stands right now against Georgia Southern. By the way, Georgia State was the team that beat Tennessee earlier this year, but Georgia Southern beat number 25 App State a year ago. That game's on ESPNU inside of a minute. And here, Baylor 7-0, leading by 3. But now Austin Kendall has an opportunity. This is why he came to West Virginia. Sitting in Oklahoma behind Baker Mayfield and Kyler Murray for 3 years. Now he has a chance. A couple of Heisman winners, that's all. Now he's got a chance to put West Virginia at least in field goal range. Got to get yards, though, and Letty Brown gets swallowed up by the front of this Baylor defense.
The state of West Virginia has been very patient with Neil Brown building this team. A monumental win could bring a lot of hope to a program that is obviously rebuilding. Here in the 4th quarter, inside your own 15, Austin Kendall, what do you got?
Kendall launches, incomplete. He's trying to find Wheaton that time. Raleigh Tejada out there in coverage. 3rd down and 9 coming up. Baylor brings pressure. Kendall nearly had it picked. Overthrown for Esdale. And that'll bring up 4th down, a 3 and out at a crucial time for Kendall and the Mountaineers.
And really good pass rush by Baylor. That's what rushes the throw. He feels a little contact. He's afraid of a sack, fumble, strip sack, and that throw is errant. We talked about this Baylor defense being a strength of the team, stepping up, putting the team on their back, and every single person we talked to from Baylor talked about how good they are in the 4th quarter. Whether it's true or not, they believe it, and maybe that is why it's become true.
Browden with his 9th punt of the night. Forces the fair catch. Oh, it was over the head of Snead. He may have made contact. West Virginia and Martin recovers it. Inside the 40-yard line, R.J. Snead made contact with the punt, making it a live ball, and George Campbell, the 15 on offense, who's already had a huge touchdown tonight, comes away with the football.
Browden, who's been hitting this end-over-end ball, Aussie rules football style, hits this one a little bit fat, it goes flying high, it's knuckling while coming down, bang off the helmet, bang off the hands, recovery for West Virginia, and that is why the punt is the most exciting play in football.
Pat, I was going to ask you, that looked like a knuckleball. It looked like a Tim Wakefield knuckleball.
Yeah, whenever you hit that ball a little bit fatter, it can kind of come down in a leaf, like the way a leaf would fall type situation. If you're a returner looking up at the lights, every once in a while you can get caught up a little bit.
And remember, R.J. Snead is not the typical punt return man. Braylon Arnold was banged up. He had a punt return touchdown this year. They didn't want to put him in harm's way after he had just come back from an injury. But that mistake by Snead sets West Virginia up at the 34. How about a little, a little razzle-dazzle almost there as Letty Brown takes the carry.
That was the Tecmo Bowl handoff.
Yeah.
But going back to that punt, it looked like he was distracted.
Oh, that's right.
And maybe even stepped on.
He stepped on the foot.
Interference there, possibly.
Wow.
Devin Wade was right in the grill of R.J. Snead. Letty Brown gets hit hard after a short gain.
There's ways to distract returners. You can yell in their face. You can do things like that. Kicking their foot, often frowned upon, but here in the fourth quarter, doesn't get called.
But clearly illegal.
Clearly, yeah. 54-yard gain, though, for Josh Groudon and Mountaineer punt.
Yes, a receiver of a kick must be given an unimpeded opportunity to receive the kick. You could certainly argue that Snead was impeded that time. After all that, 3rd and 2 for West Virginia, deep in Baylor territory. Kendall for Esdale into double coverage and nearly intercepted. That would have been a pick for Grayland Arnold.
They went with the slant and go. You thought they'd be conservative. They went for the jugular. But when you pump the slant, you're bringing the free safety over there as well. And that's exactly what happens. JT Woods is in on the play and had a chance to get an interception.
Well, this would be a 43-yard field goal. That's in Evan Staley's range. But remember, Staley got hurt, and they're going to bring Casey Legg in for his first career competitive field goal.
Welcome to football, Casey Legg. Fourth quarter against an undefeated Big 12 team, 43-yarder.
Play clock winding down. And now the whistle blows as Casey Legg looked like he was able to put that one through, but
Prior to the snap, delay game, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Now this is what happens. Sometimes you get caught in this no man's land. You got this kicker who's never kicked in a football game before. You're not used to him. You don't know if he should kick it. So you're kind of deciding whether or not you want to go for it or whether you want to kick the field goal. You send the field goal unit out late. Groudon tried his best to make that thing move, but now a 43-yarder that he knocked right down the center is now a 48-yarder, which is a difficult kick. But this kid stepped up in a big way for that last one. Let's see if he can do it again.
And let me remind you guys that Baylor has blocked 8 kicks in the last 12 games. They take tons of pride in this, and they believe that they're the best in the country at blocking kicks.
Casey Legg, sure enough, on cue. Brutal spot to be put in if you're Casey Legg, and Bravion Roy, one of the big boys for Baylor, helping out on the block kick.
They work on this live, good on good, D-line versus O-line field goal practice every single Tuesday. The big man who benches 405 8 times, Roy gets the push and the hand on it. Still 17-14 in the fourth.
We talked about it. Matt Rule's teams, going back to his days as head coach of Temple, take a lot of pride. He and Phil Snow take a lot of pride in blocking kicks. They come up with a huge one there.
Well, Phil Snow told us it's so important. About 82% of the time, you win the game if you get a block in the kicking game. Said he studied Florida State in the 80s, and they've made it a priority ever since.
There goes Jermichael Hasty. Let's see if Baylor tries to put this game away on the ground. There is a flag thrown back at the 29-yard line on that run.
WVU has 3 takeaways, 0 points scored on those takeaways.
Holding, offense, number 56, 10-yard penalty, still 1st down.
Blake Bettier once again gets tagged with that penalty. By the way, Appalachian State goes down for the first time this year. 3-point win for Georgia Southern as they get the upset for a 2nd straight year against App State. So now only 8 unbeaten teams remain, including the one you're watching tonight. 12th ranked Baylor at the top of the Big 12 standings at 4-0 in conference play. 17-14 lead, approaching 3 minutes to play. They've got 2 timeouts, and West Virginia has all 3 of theirs.
Cole Swindell, excited about that Georgia Southern win, I bet.
Which concert of his were you backstage for, man? There goes Abner for a couple. Let's see if Neil Brown's going to start using timeouts here.
Such an interesting series of events on that field goal. It's massive. That's what happens when you have a new kicker in there, though.
That's tough on the kicker, though, right? When you're in no man's land, all of a sudden you're rushed out. You got to try to make a pressure kick.
Yeah, it's tough on Coach Neil Brown, too. He doesn't really know what this kid's got, if he's going to be able to make it. They send him out late for the field goal. It's a late decision. He makes it. Delay a game, back it up. Now you get it blocked by the best team, basically blocking kicks in the history of football.
And you're being critical of that. I mean, I put that on the holder as a former holder. You're a former camera holder, you know, you got to be aware of the play clock. I think the good situation right now for West Virginia is that they have saved their timeouts, and they'll get to, they'll get to play that situational football game here now if they can just get a stop, knowing that they have all 3 of their timeouts.
Ebner ran into Keith Washington at the 29, and now Neil Brown's going to use that first timeout with 2:09 to play.
Hey, smart play by Ebner, by the way, going down in bounds.
Staying in bounds, forcing the timeout call.
Yeah, it's good, smart football right there. Look at those big old sheets blocking the answers.
Minimized a little bit now all of a sudden. Only 4 to his side. 8 unbeaten teams remaining. App State with its first loss of the year tonight. You're welcome, David. LSU, Alabama on a collision course in Baton Rouge on November the 9th. Penn State and Minnesota on a collision course in Minneapolis on November the 9th. That'll be on ABC at noon.
Skyuma, row the boat. Minnesota's hot right now out there in Minnesota.
I like that LSU quarterback.
Joe Burrow.
Yeah,
Hey, he's a stud. They've completely changed the way they're playing football now. They're taking in 2 teams as opposed to just trying to control the clock. Fun to watch down there in the Bayou. That Florida-Georgia game is going to be awesome this weekend, too. There's a lot of great college football matches.
Well, think about the Oklahoma loss. Not only does it open things up for Baylor at the top, but now all those one-loss teams are licking their chops going, hey, we got a shot now. We got a shot to get back in this thing.
A lot of football left to be played.
Absolutely. They say no. They remember you in November. And we're getting very close on the eve.
And that's another penalty by the same person.
False start, offense. There were 56, 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
First year at Baylor. He's a junior college player at Snow College in Utah, his home state.
That's a 6th penalty for Baylor here in the second half. They only had 1 in the first half. Setting up a 3rd and forever here.
This is a big opportunity for a stop for West Virginia.
And no matter what happens at the end of this, you need West Virginia to have to waste a timeout. If you don't get the first down, that's what you have to do.
Or if they don't use it, you at least want the clock to move if you're Baylor, right?
For sure. But I would expect that they would use it.
I agree.
They're
going to throw it. Looking for Thornton on a deep ball. Simultaneous. It looked like Thornton and Washington were battling, and it's a catch. It is a catch. Are you kidding me with that play, Tyquan Thornton?
Unbelievable aggressive play call on their best cover guy, Washington. The trust and the faith they have in this quarterback that they have in Thornton, the sophomore out of Miami, Florida, a 50-yard gain when your team needed it most.
Coach Rule said it yesterday. Brewer is a guy who wants the ball in his hands in the big moments. 3rd and long, 2 minutes left in the game, 50-yard shot down the sideline in a bucket. What a big-time catch by Thornton and a big-time throw by Charlie Brewer.
Ebner gets wrapped up for a loss. Neil Brown's going to have to use that second timeout right away. Going to be 2nd down coming up here. You can get the clock inside of a minute if you run the football, potentially, unless West Virginia uses that next timeout. Likely they will.
30 seconds late.
Matt, what a play call.
Yeah, I mean, Pat, you said it, and he said, hey, I want my quarterback to have the ball in his hands in the 4th quarter. And it's kind of like, all right, yeah, that's coach talk. Everybody says it. But he's putting action to those words. He's got a decision to make at this point. It's 3rd and forever, and we're going to go slant and go with a play action. No one's falling for that play action. It is just a perfect throw. It is actually incredibly good coverage, but it's just a better catch.
Matt Rule, national television, undefeated, turned this program around on a big 3rd down that they could have just picked up some yards and punted and said, no, we are a team that's here to play. We are going for it. We are hucking the ball down the field 50 yards for a 1st down.
Now, again, the big key here, you still have 1 timeout if you're West Virginia. You get a stop here, use the timeout, it's 3rd down. You still have a chance to potentially get the ball back with a stop. A 1st down ends this game, essentially. Ebner gets stopped by Exree Lowe. Made his first career start at Oklahoma. There goes the final timeout with under 90 seconds left. This is the top of the Big 12 now. Remember, Baylor has TCU on the road in Fort Worth next week, then back-to-back home games against Oklahoma and Texas before Kansas is the final stop in Lawrence. That's the rest of the Baylor schedule.
And that's quite a schedule.
It's not easy. The only game they're favored in, or not favored in, I should say, is the Oklahoma game. Oklahoma's a heavy metric favorite. They are favored in the other games, but they're all tight for the most part, Texas and TCU in particular.
And I was impressed just talking to this coaching staff, particularly Coach Rule. The focus on 1-0 this week. There were so many opportunities to kind of look past this game or think about other things. We're undefeated. And really just, we mentioned it earlier, the signs around the building. 1-0 this week. We're going to go 1-0 this week. It felt like the identity of what this team is all about.
1-0, 1-0, what's next? This WVU game was big for Baylor coming off a bye week. And Matt Rule and the Bears here in the fourth quarter have showed up and showed out. What a game so far.
So now Charlie Brewer with third down coming. You would think they would run a play to keep the clock moving. Run it with Lovett. He'll get stopped. Let's see when the play clock starts. It's already going. Minute 20, so you could get this inside of 50 seconds. Obviously, this is out of the field goal range of John Mayers, at least based on what he's done this season. So West Virginia could get the ball back without a timeout, down by 3.
And the way this game is going, this game, I would say, is far from over.
There's a lot that's going to happen.
And think about these little surges of electricity in this game, right? The 2 takeaways to start the half, the touchdown and then the kickoff return touchdown. It's been punch for punch for a 2-touchdown underdog against an unbeaten tonight. But remember, 3 in a row for West Virginia in this series.
Second time out of the half. 60 seconds in length.
Now, granted, that was the Dana Holgorsen era, much different team, but you got to give them a lot of credit coming into Waco and playing this tight of a game when a lot of people thought that they might get blown out tonight.
And again, we talked to Neil Brown at West Virginia, and we said, you know, how are you going to do it with all these freshmen? Get all these freshmen in your 2 deep. And he said, my guys are not going to be intimidated. He said it in a way that he was, you know, very matter of fact and very sure of himself. And again, I think we were kind of like, oh, that's just coach talk. This is a tough matchup for you guys. And he said, we're going to go in there. You just watch. You watch. We're not going to be intimidated. And I think that's what we've seen tonight.
And they made it an ugly game, to be honest. It was an ugly game here early. Then there was some little streaks of greatness there. And here late, it's been great football. Baylor's going to have to make a decision here. Going to punt it, I would assume.
And both these coaches, I think you got to say they're really good at rebuilding a program.
Yes, no. And I would say West Virginia fans have seen what Matt Rule did here at Baylor, and they're hoping, and I think they should expect that Neil Brown's going to do the same thing in West Virginia. Not that West Virginia was bad last year. It was just a different team. Neil Brown's got to find his guys to get in there. And I think with this showing on national television, they said, hey, we're going to be something special here.
They've got Alex Sigfield back to return the punt. 3-man protection for Isaac Power. Fair catch late, but signaled by Sigfield. At the 5-yard line. No timeouts with 38 seconds left. How about that 31-yard pin job by Isaac Power?
Yeah, you got to love that. I didn't know if they're going to have him just hit a home run to take it all out of there, but instead they pin him at the 5 with a fair catch. Might as well just let that bounce and see what happens, but he's a young returner and make something happen. Austin Kendall now 95 yards in front of him, 38 seconds, no timeout in a Big 12 game in a raucous atmosphere here in Waco. See what he can do. Put a state on his back, maybe.
A defensive stand keeps Baylor unbeaten. Let's see what West Virginia has. They'll go underneath. On the move, Winston Wright. He's already had a touchdown today. He gets the first down. Clock stops to move the chains with 30 seconds to go. Let's see if they spike it or not. Looks like they're going to run it. 3-man rush. Can't take a sack in this position. Kendall still on his feet. Back across his body for Esdale and incomplete. 10 seconds came off the clock that time.
Took a long time. The first play was excellent. A nice shallow cross with blockers out front. The second time they got caught on the right hash with all the receivers on the right side. Fortunate to not get a sack there, but they're running out of time. They need a chunk play here.
8 back in coverage again. Kendall crosses the line. He might want to get out of bounds, and he does to stop the clock, but 8 more seconds come off as he takes it to the 31-yard line. Does get a fresh set of downs.
And the good thing about college football is if you get that first down and you're caught inbounds, then that clock stops. You have a chance to spike it and maybe throw a Hail Mary. I would say you want to try to get to around the 50-yard line on this play if you can.
Yeah, about 20 yards away. Over the middle, right once again. Might want to look at the sideline. Oh, the clock's going to wind down.
Oh, no.
The Baylor defense gets the stop, and the Baylor Bears are 8-0.
What an incredible football game here in Waco. This Baylor Bears team is legit. They had to fight for this one. There was an ugly one against the Mountaineers from Morgantown. Come away with a win is massive for Matt Rule and the Baylor Bears here.
Yeah,
on Thursday Night Football on ESPN.
I was impressed with both teams tonight. Relentless. That's the word I would use about Baylor. They were relentless on defense. Charlie Brewer, when his team needed him most, put the team on his back. The quarterback ran like a running back and threw like a quarterback when he needed to. Impressive job tonight by the Baylor Bears. You see why they're undefeated. And for West Virginia, I think an impressive effort and a team that's rebuilding.
And if you're West Virginia, you go down to Joe Mama's and drink away your sorrows because this West Virginia team is going to be good in a couple years. But right now, this is Baylor Bears' year for the Big 12.
They remain unbeaten and at the top of the Big 12. 17-14 tonight for Molly, Pat, and Matt. I'm Adam Amin. Stay classy. Sports Center in 15 seconds.